The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
All this crazy nerd news, James Gunn and people shutting down their Twitter accounts, got me thinking how much over the past 6 years, how much me and Wolfie have changed and grown over the years. It's not easy to be perfect every single time there's an open mic when you're running live, and sometimes you swing at low-hanging fruit. And I would like to think that people wouldn't judge me for things that I had said on episode 2, 3, 28. But the reality is that if they did, I would, be forced to make a decision and man up to it. But the reality is that what no one can take away, and what I am most proud of, is that we've been here. Me, Wolfie, and some semblance of this crew for 300-something episodes, 6 years, a long time. And the reason that we do it is for our podcast brothers like Bill by Force, who we have on the show tonight, the Hossman, our friends at the Crumcast, and everyone else, and all of you listening. So, thank you very much, and welcome to our 6-year anniversary show, and welcome to Trick or Treat fucking Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 313 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. Navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we also have 6-year anniversary shows from time to time.
Yeah.
Maybe once ever.
Yeah, every 6 years we do.
No, you only get one 6-year anniversary show. You don't do a 6-year anniversary show squared.
The next one will be the 12-year anniversary.
12-year will be the 6-year, the
6-year squared.
the 6 years squared anniversary show.
God, if we get there, please fucking shoot me.
I feel like we've run that gimmick into the ground with how many the next annual 20th anniversary shows did we have at the Ducky Dog?
like
20, 4 or 5 in a row.
20 something.
Yeah. So, yeah, the only good news is I can guarantee that either you or I aren't going to be here if we go 12 years.
So it is our 6-year anniversary show. We got some awesome stuff planned. Let me get right to that because I know we're going to get derailed soon, and we have a guest waiting to just be introduced. And so tonight, we're going to go ahead and review a listener pick. This is the first time we've ever done this. Last week, we nominated 5 movies, and then we did a wild card. And we let the listeners vote as to which one they wanted us to review. And the winner, Mars, do you want to unveil the winner of that listener vote?
Demonwarp, baby. And it almost blew up in our damn fool face.
No, it almost blew up in your face. You're the only one that didn't want.
Yeah, I would have stayed home. I would have took my first night off ever if you guys watched The Gray.
That had no chance.
Yeah, well, it did early on.
No, that had no chance.
I thought New York Ripper was going to take it. It was
it was
up
up,
by
yeah.
it was up in the lead by a wide margin, and time was ticking down.
Especially since you threw your vote away like a fucking moron.
Who?
You.
What vote did I throw away?
You
Wang
voted for
Wang.
Wang Wang.
And what's wrong with Wang Wang?
Well, you and the other guy that voted for it probably thought it was a very
you
good
and
choice.
Sir Isaac.
Yeah.
And Tom C. Don't forget him.
Oh, okay.
And one other person, I forget who. But
I think Tom C was just mad that we didn't pick Rover Jerks.
Yeah.
But
That was Reverend Scott, but he changed his vote because he's a smart individual.
So we have that. We're gonna be talking about Demonwarp from 1988. This fucking ridiculous, crazy Bigfoot alien movie. We'll be talking about that, and then we asked for listener feedback as always, and we asked for questions. If you guys have specific questions, you want to ask us anything at all, it can be MZ's favorite porn to FAP2. Actually, we shouldn't go there. Not after last week. I think we used our quote.
How much time do we have?
Fantastic episode.
Yeah, we
My
used our
favorite
quote
one
up.
is the one that's in the DVD player at this moment.
DVD.
DVD.
You watch DVD porn.
Who doesn't?
Anybody.
DV stands for
Would
Yeah.
you rather have me say beta porn? Come on.
Yeah, actually, I would.
Yeah.
dildo video dude.
Yeah.
Dildo video, dude. So,
I've never even seen a porno on a digital variable disc before. Not even one time.
VHS, maybe.
Yeah, VHS I have with those
You've
big
never
fuck-
seen
big
porn
clam
on a DVD?
No.
before? Holy shit.
Was he
and you
missing
think-
out?
No, since the internet happened, I don't know that it's a necessary thing.
Oh, they're still out there.
I believe it, but
Well, for the box art, you can put it on the shelf.
All right. Well, enough about that. all right?
Criterion.
We have enough to get to. So later on, we're going to play some listener feedback. We got some questions that we're going to field. If you guys are listening live, there's still time to submit a question. Just send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Go ahead, send a voice message or an email. We prefer to hear your voice, as always. And we'll answer your questions. It could be anything. It could be anything about the show, why we decided to start the show, how we all met, whatever you want it to be. It could be any question you've had burning in your head for the last 6 years. So ask us whatever you want, and we'll answer it later on in the show. But now, we have our good buddy, podcaster, and now filmmaker, Bill by Force, joining us live.
I kept my mouth shut that whole time like a good guest.
I know.
Like an actual guest and not just a jerk that comes on the show.
Well, yeah.
You made one comment.
Yeah, after somebody said something ridiculously stupid.
Yes, which is all the time. So Bill is here just, mostly to talk about his flick, Survival of the Film Freaks, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, Mars and I, because we were the only ones that attended the very exclusive
Class
screening.
X.
Yeah.
Listen, I wanted to go, Bill. I felt really bad about that.
Hey, no, Raven Shadow, I got no problems with him because he replied to the invite.
Yes.
It's amazing
And-
he found out how.
And then also commented saying, "Hey man, sorry I'm not going to make it. Have a good night." So Raven Shadow's in the clear. I didn't know if you guys would want to get into this. You guys kind of gave MZ some shit, and he got very defensive.
MZ, you had your invitation privileges revoked.
It just comes down to the fact that MC just doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that must be it.
You're not in the Down Boys.
Yeah, down boys, baby.
Yeah, it's true. I don't want to be in the Down Boys.
Down boys.
See?
You want to be in the Down Boys, MZ?
Oh, boy, do I.
You can be inducted.
No, we can't.
I was gonna let him down.
There should be no expectations set for him.
No, see, look.
Oh, here we go. Here we
Listen.
go.
Oh, all right.
Listen to me.
I'm ready.
Listen
I'm
to me.
ready.
Look.
I'm ready. Tell me. Lay it on me.
Of course, I would respond to to these things. Of
But you
course, I
don't.
would. Well, you know what? It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword.
What?
Here's
Just
the
settle
thing.
down.
Here's the thing, man.
Just settle
On the
down.
internet, I can see that you saw it.
Yes,
It says viewed.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I know this dude ain't gonna come, so the least he could do is just click decline, and then I would be like, okay. But no, you viewed it, and then we're like, oh, I'm not even gonna take the time to click one more
that.
click.
Fuck it.
No. Listen to me.
Meanwhile,
to me.
there's like 8 Golden
listen
Girls
to me.
posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Man,
Listen.
Donald
That's
Trump,
me.
cancer, Facebook invites.
No, listen. For me, it's all psychologically, will you settle yourself down?
What's psychological?
Just listen to me and
But it's
shut up.
psychological.
Just listen to me and shut up. If I always feel like I always have to say no to whatever invite that you pass out, because I always feel like I for some reason I can't make it. Now in this instance, you had it, I believe, on a Friday night. Well,
Well, you weren't invited to this.
my week doesn't end until Saturday afternoon.
So how
you know,
come you
so
can't come my things on a Sunday?
I could do things on a Sunday,
He has Mondays off, Bill.
and I
Wait,
and I could
wait,
do
how
things
many
Monday.
parties have we had on Sunday afternoons, guys?
Lots.
SummerSlam.
That's true. That's true.
wrestling
But you know
shows.
what? That's true. Yeah. But you know what? I'm really not much of a wrestling fan.
It's not about wrestling. It's
It's
about
about
I-
friendship.
friends.
I
about
actively
friendship.
dislike the WWE, but I go.
Because
It's
we're all
about-
pros.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boys, baby.
it's about friendship. It's about excuse me, Miami Connection. Jesus Christ. No, so for me, if I keep
my
on saying
father.
no, if I keep on saying no, he's gonna think that I don't like the guy. So
you don't say anything.
so I don't say anything. So
You
no
just
matter what,
ignore
I'm gonna get shit on for it. So I figured why put in the effort.
Well,
Although-
you could hit the decline button and then also post, "Thank you for the invite, but I can't. I'm working."
Although this is a little bit
a little bit extra effort.
yeah. Although it's a little bit better, Bill. About 3 or 4 years ago, he would just he would say yes to everything
and not go to anything.
and not go to anything.
Nothing.
Even like events that we like invited him to.
Yeah.
He would just say yes
Yes.
immediately and never show up.
Yes, they would invite me to events.
Yeah.
Yes, I was invited to their events.
Why is that so weird?
That just sounds so bizarre.
Field trips and parties.
I know.
and-
I know. I get
Weddings,
to go
birthday
because
parties.
I get to go because they asked me if I want to go.
Once a year, I've been booking a fucking rock club for 10 years. That's an event.
Yeah,
So why does it seem so weird?
Maybe you.
Here's what. No,
because I
it's
just
real
assume that I'm
simple.
already going. I don't need an invite.
Yeah, but you never show up whenever you say you're going. So now he just doesn't respond. That's his new thing.
Hey, the thing is, Richard marches to the beat of his own drum.
And it's a 12 drum of Coca-Cola.
This is a drum of lard
It's getting to be there. It's getting
by
there.
the spoonful. I can see your guns, man, with that tank top.
The guns.
Why? Is that Tasmanian devil tattoo on your arm?
That's a Gorgonite.
You can't tell a discernible difference from when he flexes and when he doesn't.
No. Except that his arm is...
See?
Except that his
Somebody
arm is
call a
down.
vet because these puppies are sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that eventually his arm's going to get so big it's going to be Gorgonites.
They're just gonna split apart.
Yeah, it's going to be like the Barbarian Brothers.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
do have to
germ.
say though that you guys said some very, very kind things. 2-3 weeks ago on the show about the film, and I really appreciate that. And I'm giving MZ shit, but obviously, it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're you guys said some really nice stuff, and I'm super happy that you guys had a good time.
Oh yeah,
And,
man. Like
Try to do it again.
we did sort of touch on this, but now that you're here, like we would have obviously there's a sort of personal buy-in because we're in the movie, but even if we weren't, like I thought it was a super interesting dissection of cult film, and there were some great personalities that were included and some great little bits, and it just was it. And the biggest thing for me was the 90-minute runtime. It went by so fast. And
Nice.
then I realized I was like, that's it. I was like,
That's it.
yeah, like I wanted more. So I mean, that's the best thing that you could possibly do is to give some, give people just enough to keep them wanting more.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the best compliment that you guys can pay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I felt the same. It was because we obviously don't review a lot of documentaries, but we did obviously Scarlotta's Jodorowsky's Dune, and I felt the
So good.
same way about that when I watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, that flew by. I want so much more. I could
Right.
watch like an 8-hour cut of that. You know,
The thing that my big takeaway was how proud I was of my local brothers and sisters.
yeah,
Like I feel like I know why you would cut a documentary with a Ted Raimi and a Lloyd Kaufman with it, but I think like Wolfie and BGH Eric and Andrea had like some super like hot takes and like were so well spoken, like like it like really drew me in, like they were just so knowledgeable, and so like I was just proud that like like if somebody saw them that didn't know their podcast, I know they were a filmmaker, they would like track them down. They're like,
Yeah.
these guys know their shit.
Excellent. Yeah, we can get into it a little bit more. I know you guys got to do intros and stuff, so
We don't do intros anymore.
nah, we'll rather talk to you.
Yeah.
I figured you'd bring it back for the 6-year anniversary show.
There you go, Bill. He's smart. He's a filmmaker.
No.
Like, can you give Raven Shadow his intro, because he's the only one that really cares.
Thank you.
Let's go back to old school where it was just say who you are and that was it.
Yeah. Ladies
All
and
right,
gentlemen,
all right.
If we're gonna do real
hold
old
on.
school,
There you go,
Okay,
John. Thank
we'll
you for
do them
producing.
real quick since Bill brought it up. It's a good opportunity. We'll just do them real quick,
Thank
okay?
you, Bill.
Because You know, as they say, Raven Shadow.
Yes.
Every episode, what?
It's someone's first episode.
It could be.
It could be someone's first anniversary episode.
It could be. So,
That's exciting.
with that being said, I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio, The Deadites, and also co-host of the Outside Corner Fantasy Baseball podcast and the Five Hossman Wrestling podcast. We also have another one of the co-hosts for the Five Hossmen and the immortal gunslinger, singer, and lyricist for the Deadites, Dynamo Mars.
I'm going to change your name to Pushover. Pushover Stein.
You want me to turn your mic off?
There you go. It's what happens. What it does.
I'll also change your name to Bully Stein if you do that. But
We also have the vulgar guru of horror, star of Blood Pig's Fetus in the upcoming Morbid Tales, and Septic, one-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, Monster Zero.
6 years of this shit, huh?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
You getting too old for this shit?
I am, man. I am.
We also have the Triumph Riding, Stage Erecting, Whiskey Drinking, Chief of Security, Warrior of Nor'easters, America's Sweetheart, and Rick Rubin's stunt double, Ares, the God of War.
Hello.
And finally,
Jesus Christ.
the chain-smoking, hand-kissing, baby-shaking, lorazepam-loving, former comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for Castle Wolfenstein, the Pippa Promotions, the Italian rapscallion, professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the
Banana
proprietor,
fingers.
the proprietor of the Sexy Speakeasy, Banana Fingers, Mr. Runtime, and the Parisian Bruja himself, Michael Raven Shadow.
That's right, Johnny. For number 15, don't forget founding member of the Down Boys. What up, Bill?
Yeah.
little too
Too
sweet, baby.
sweet.
Yeah, baby.
I think number 15 should know, apparently knows more than 4 superheroes of color.
He knows more than 80,
Yeah.
apparently.
More than 80.
For all the times that you can't fucking be part of a conversation, that's the tangent you jump on.
I like lists.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but
I
you
do.
No, you
but
like trying to prove a point.
Yeah, you do. You
that
like
that isn't there.
right.
I wasn't trying to prove a point.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you
No
are.
one's tricked.
Yeah,
I wasn't
you are.
trying to.
We've done 300 something shows with you. We know where you stand. We're
Why I'm
not
trying
Yeah.
to die on that hill? I could do fucking ginger superheroes. Fucking
Ginger Bowls.
ginger balls.
Ginger
Evidence
balls.
1: how angry he was when Wally West was not a redheaded man. Incident 2: how mad he got at us about Black Panther conversation.
Yep.
What are you talking
Incident 3:
about?
I could go on all night long.
What are you talking about?
Your stance is that you don't. I don't think that you.
There's plenty of them. There's plenty of representation out there. You just got to
That wasn't plenty. No, I know the fucking thing. Heroes-
That's what
hero-
you're saying, right?
Heroes who have no shirt on. Namor, Damien Hellstrom, Nightwing with his collar exposed.
Harry just
Iron
took his
Fist?
headphones off.
I could do it all day.
Unfortunately, it doesn't make Raven Shadow go away, though.
I know he's right there.
Wow. Well, save that for later, Raven Shadow, because
All right.
we have a very special guest with us. He's He's been our boy since the beginning. That's why we're Down Boys.
That's right.
Yeah, and so Bill, I know people who listen to the show probably know a little bit about Survival of the Film Freaks, but as we just said, every episode could be someone's first. So, it's possible people don't know about it. You want to go ahead and give them the elevator pitch and enlighten them, let them know what Survival of the Film Freaks is all about.
Survival of the Film Freaks is a feature-length documentary that is 50% love letter, well, maybe like 60% love letter to cult films of all genres. And then the other half of it is exploring how cult films have gotten to people over the years and how technology has kind of changed the way that we view cult films and the way that films become cult films. So we kind of took all these different ideas, it kind of just put it in a blender and wanted to show people, where we were and where we're going and how we can continue to be able to have really awesome movies that fly under the radar or films that are super successful that then come around with a following later on and continue to go into the future with more films like this, because the way we view cult films and the way cult films become cult films now in 2018 compared to how they did in 1975 it's a very different world.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was the cool thing about the doc. And I don't want to say too much because I want people to explore it for their own when it is available for them to watch. And it runs the gamut, pretty much of of cult cinema, and even into the new age of how they're sort of still finding their audience and how new cult films are sort of, being found and sort of having their own little niche, So it is super interesting to kind of track that lineage of through the different forms of media. And nowadays, like, this is probably the best time to be a fan of cult cinema because you can watch anything, Like, granted, you don't have the whole, like, search, and reward aspect of it, which was, a big part of it. But now you can pretty much watch anything you want. If someone's like, oh my God, I watched this fucking crazy movie called Demonwarp, you got to see it. Chances are you can go watch it very easily.
I mean, it's what you really lose, and maybe if you search for it before, I was just having a really nice, awesome conversation with super great artist Mike DeGarza about he found Demonwarp at one point on a VHS shelf. And, like, imagine turning that around and whatever selections of, like, what they try to put on the back, like, thinking, like, what is this movie about? You know what I mean? Like, you kind of, like, I don't know, now you see it, you Demonwarp, you have IMDb tags that kind of, like, it's, like, just not the same. Like, I remember seeing The Creepies and not being able to see it for years and years because the Blockbuster I worked at had the box, but somebody hadn't ever taken it away. And because it was my job to, like, take the, old boxes off the shelf that didn't have VHSs for them anymore, like, it stayed there until that Blockbuster closed because I liked the VHS box. But, looking on the box of the fucking Spookies, like, you're like, what's fucking going on? There's a fucking mummy and a spider and some zombies here. Like, what is transpiring? Like, and now, like, you just don't have that you don't have that disappointment when, you rent a movie and it's got this fucking awesome VHS box and, like,
you lose that tangible aspect.
Handsome guys and beautiful women, then you, like, turn it and it's shot on video and it's really bad. And
you know what though? I don't necessarily think that that's true that you lose that. It's just different now. You have all of these avenues to get to these films, and like MZ, I know me and you have a lot in common with. We both love, like, a lot of Italian stuff from the 70s. Mm-hmm. Think about how many years went by where we weren't able to get tons of those films, especially if you're looking at, like, like the sex comedies and the Polizia flicks, and, like, outside of, like, like Suspiria and, like, Deep Red and those big names, like, a lot of those lower level things were really tough to come across. Whereas now we can watch those when we want. But if you're putting yourself in, this is kind of something that I never really looked at until we started filming, in the mindset of a kid that's 14 years old today that has grown up not having the internet. It's a different thing where you're on Facebook and a trailer pops up on Facebook for something, and then you listen to a podcast like this, or, like, like one of the big like Shockwaves that, like, is, in bed with a place like Blumhouse, and they talk about these movies, and then you go and you search online. Yeah, you get to these things a lot faster, but there's still that, oh, I was listening to Trick or Treat Radio, and they talked about this movie called Demonwarp. It sounds fucking crazy. I'm going to see where I can find it. So we're at this kind of weird crossroads. Well, I think the crossroads was really probably more a couple of years ago when everything was downloading as opposed to streaming, because when it was just downloading was a very different world to whereas now you have stuff like Shudder that specializes in, horror and genre flicks, and, like, Amazon Prime has got thousands of titles of things.
It's fucking outrageous.
It is ridiculous, and I'm really only just kind of scratching the surface with Amazon Prime, because so much of the stuff that is on Shudder is also available on Amazon Prime. So you click on that, like, customers also watched, and some weird fucking shit shows up there, and then you go down this different type of rabbit hole than what we would have gone down, 15, 20 years ago, where you hit Blockbuster and the kid that's working at the counter, you walk up with, I don't know, fucking some weak sauce torture porn flick like Hostel or something, and the kid at the counter is like, he's working at Blockbuster because he needs a job, but he's a real movie fiend, and he's like, oh, have you ever seen I Spit on Your Grave? And then you watch that, and then all of a sudden you're down this rabbit hole of these 70s exploitation things. It's a different world now, but it's the same thing. It's just everything is so much easier to get your hands on. So it's a situation where, yeah, that battle to get those movies back then was this great adventure, but if you tell me that you would rather wait 6 to 8 weeks to get a bad dub of Cannibal Holocaust from some dude that dubbed it off of a Japanese Laserdisc in Florida than jump on Amazon Prime and just be able to watch it immediately. You're a liar.
Now, I'm not disputing what you say, but there is something about the simple fact of having to travel to a store, walk the aisles to find either a video in particular or whatever one catches your eye, and then traveling back home and popping it in your VHS player, and now you're committed. You spent your $1.50, $2, 99 cents, whatever you paid for that movie. You spent that money. It is now the only movie you have to watch for that night. So you're watching it start to finish. There isn't this selection of, online, okay, I watched this 5 minutes, I haven't seen what I like, I'm going to move on to the next movie. I think having too much is a bad thing in a certain way.
Oh, I agree, Aries, man, absolutely. But put yourself in that mindset of the 14, 15-year-old
Who
kid
doesn't
now.
know any better?
Yeah, they're not going to know. They're not going to know. They're never going to be able to experience that. So.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm not saying that the modern day is a bad thing. It's just they experience movies differently than us, the old men who had to travel to find our movies.
The reason,
but also think about the sheer amount of entertainment that people consume now.
Right.
Like how many movies come out each week and how many things are done. The sheer amount of things almost in a weird sort of way can justify 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there because there's that much more stuff.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because in the amount of time it took to drive to the video store and drive back and all that, you could have probably, got 2 movies in or maybe even 3, depending on how long you spent at the video store.
The reasonable side of me will be honest and say I like this better for 2 reasons. I like it better because, again, as a martial arts film fan, you'd get like a lot of the American stuff, in video stores and stuff, but there wasn't a lot of like the Shaw Brothers stuff. You had to wait for that to catch it by accident on, a local cable, a local VHS station or UHF station or something. But and I also like because I don't, in a lot of cases, if I want to watch a movie, I don't have to touch my VHS or DVD or Blu-rays. Like some of my Blu-rays I buy and for collector's items and know they're limited edition and don't even necessarily open them because I know that I can readily stream them. But I do say that all my love for the era of the VHS, and I'll be honest, comes I do like the tacticalness of it, but tactileness of it. But it's all nostalgia. It's all of my good memories come from that. My band was bred from that. Like the music that we make is from hearing the warbly versions of it coming out of Tiny's top-loading VCR and watching it on his giant projection television. And like almost like Ari said, we used to walk to the video store, go to the video store, stop at LaRue's and buy a fucking trash bag full of fucking candy and go back and on a Friday night sit in front of that TV, fall asleep, wake up, put on something else. That's what we did. We wouldn't see the sun sometimes in between, June and September 1st. But I don't forget the faults in them. You know what I mean? Like from whatever my tape's breaking. Or, you're right about the commitment, but, the difference of there was one night when we only had enough money to buy 2 movies, and we brought home the same cannibal movie with different names. So we watched that. We were like, that sucks. And about 5 minutes in, we're like, this is the same fucking movie. It did have its
It took you 5 minutes to realize it?
Well,
When you watch enough Godfrey Ho movies, you hold on for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is Mars and Tiny. They were making out a lot.
Oh! How can you kiss him through that mask?
You'll find a way.
This is a fantastic conversation. The one thing I want to keep the focus on survival of the film freaks. Because we've had this conversation a lot, and it can very easily spiral out of control where we talk about the old days, and that's a great conversation, But I want to mostly keep the focus here on survival of the film freak. So,
what do you want to know there, brother?
So, Bill, so you guys have it in the can, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So we saw what was the final cut, or at least very close to the final cut.
Yeah, I think the version you guys saw, there was a couple minor changes.
Yep.
We redid the credit sequence,
He
there was a
edited
couple...
us out, Mars.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Friends and family cut.
Yeah.
There's a lot more Chris in the you guys in that cut than the actual one. No, Corando tried to get you guys edited out, but that's all right.
That's fair.
No, yeah, the version you guys watch essentially is the version that's hitting festivals.
Okay,
So,
nice.
a few minor changes here and there, but nothing that's going to affect the runtime or the actual film itself. So, yeah, Kyle and I have it done, and it's hitting the world soon.
So you just mentioned festivals, so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. I mean, we sort of talked a little bit about this, and I know there's certain certain things you can say and certain things you probably can't say, but
yeah.
do you have any information as to maybe will people be able to see it sometime this year? Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. We do have the world premiere is scheduled. I can't tell you what it is though. We're not allowed to. I will tell you this, that it is later this summer, not July, and it takes place in the U.S.
Okay.
Somewhere in the Midwest.
All right.
At a large yearly event.
Oh.
All right. Well, there you go. So
Burning Man.
That's going to be that'll be the world premiere.
Burning Man is in the Midwest, you idiot.
Wow.
Did they stop doing Burning Man because like 5 people died last year?
That's fine.
That's good. We don't need those people anymore.
It was all
Book your plane tickets
it was
now,
all from
folks.
it was all from smoking cigarettes, Raven.
Oh no, it's a gathering of the Juggalos. That's where it's going.
Yeah, we're playing in between. We're playing in between Papa Roach and
bum fights.
Yeah, it actually would be a good spot for us.
That'd be good.
I'd like to go to the Gathering of Juggalos.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
You would die. You would straight up die.
You know what? A lot of these dudes on this fucking show front, but I had those albums. I had those
so
shirts.
did I.
Like I liked them. Like I'm not gonna fucking pretend that I didn't love Malenko when it came out, and I still really like Riddlebox. So I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, I'm not going to front either, but I can never listen to it again.
No way.
I just don't like it anymore. Like, tastes change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Taste change. But yeah, so that's the world premiere. As soon as I know exactly when it is, you guys will know. I mean, I know exactly when it is. As soon as I can tell you guys the details, I will make sure I get them to you right away. But I mean, I guess I can talk about the Massachusetts premiere.
Oh,
because Skip kind of talked about it when he was on with you guys 2 weeks ago. So since he brought it up, and he's the guy that runs the Shawn O'Shea Film Festival, it's definitely our Massachusetts premiere, and a good chance it's going to be the New England premiere. Will be at the Shawn O'Shea Film Festival the first weekend in October.
I'll be there, baby.
I'm really looking forward to that. Skip helped out a lot with the film itself. He's the reason we have Luigi Cozy in it, and he's been super supportive of of my podcast, obviously, and then also when Kyle and I decided that we were going to make this movie, he was one of the first people when I reached out to was like, yeah, let me know what I can do to help out, and he's like, I got Luigi Cozy, you want him in the movie? And I was like, don't you have to ask him first? He's like, he'll do it.
Coates's a cool dude.
He's a really, really nice guy.
He's very laid back.
Super laid back. Almost too laid back.
Yeah, right.
Well, because I go in. So when he was here for Shawn O'Shea 2 years ago, when he was premiering his last movie that he did, I interviewed him, and it was the first interview that I did without having Kyle there for all the technical stuff. Because my co-director Kyle, he's the technical guy, and I am not when it comes to cameras and that stuff. So doing that was kind of nerve-wracking because I'm a big Luigi Cozy fan. So I was like, hey man, like you made Star Crash, cool.
Yeah.
I had a Chris Farley moment for about 2 seconds, but then I got my shit together and I was like, yo man,
remember
Contamination.
Remember the time
sweet.
you made Star Crash? That was pretty cool.
Mid Hercules, man.
Yeah,
Because I had him sign my Star Crash poster, and I'm like, I know he just did this interview, but will you sign this poster for me?
nice.
He's like, sure, very good.
That's
No, he's
almost every guest we've ever had on the show. Is that my whole interview with them is that moment.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say is, obviously we've had Skip on the show twice now, and we've probably gotten to know Skip pretty well. I think you knew him best, Dynamo, but I think the rest of us have gotten to know him fairly well in the last year. And man, is he such a fucking awesome dude?
So awesome.
Oh, the best.
He's so selfless too, and like he'll do anything for you if he can. So yeah, super awesome dude, and I'm really glad that you guys are gonna have the flick there, because I'm really looking forward to attending the film festival. Because like even just last year, I didn't even know about the Shauna Shea Film Fest. So like I feel like a jerk for not even supporting it and knowing about it. But now this year, we're obviously going to continue to talk about it. Really looking forward to it. Skip had told us potentially some of the other stuff that might play. He's still waiting for word. And
It's going to be real good this year.
yeah, absolutely. And
Really good.
Based on what he said, it's getting pretty big, and that's awesome to have like such a great film festival basically in our backyards.
That's down the street.
Yeah.
It's amazing, yeah. He's so selfless in that, like, the night that we did the screening, he obviously came to the house and hung out, and I told him, like, we're going to definitely submit it, and I kind of put him on the spot a little bit when we were doing the Q&A afterwards. It was like, if there's anyone here that, runs a film festival that'd be interested.
Yeah.
But he came right up, and he was like, absolutely no question.
Yep.
You guys are in. He's like,
Yeah.
I already called my wife and told her. He's like, I want. And it feels really good to know, because, you guys have seen Skip's stuff. Skip's a great filmmaker in his own right.
Yeah.
So whenever you have someone like that sees it and it, appreciates what it is, it's validating to know it's like, okay, I did it right. I didn't Kyle and I, when the first time we sat down, the first interview we did for this movie was Ted Raimi. So we sat down with Ted Raimi on the first day of filming, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, I interviewed like hundreds of people for the podcast, but I'm sitting in front of Ted Raimi.
Yeah.
And we got lights and sound is all, and I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
So Bill, what you're saying is that Ted Raimi jerked the curtain for me and Wolfie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, just checking.
No, he was. Ted was amazing. Fucking out of control. But he was the first interview, so kind of getting that one out of the way first. And you guys obviously know Kyle, but I cannot say enough good stuff without Kyle. There is no way that this project would have ever got off the ground without him, because it would always have just been an idea that I had and was like, I need somebody to do this with me to actually make it happen. And Kyle is 100% the guy that made this happen. It's a 50%, 50-50 project with the two of us. We each have our own thing. He did all the editing, and, he built the story based off of an outline that we wrote 2 years ago, and I think he did an amazing job with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other person I wanted to call out too is, we met Kyle through you and, and through Outside the Cinema, and we had him on, I don't know, a few years ago for, talking about Phantasm, and man, like, he is such an awesome dude as well. And
great.
And it's really awesome to have him, in this area now. So,
yeah,
so we can hang out with Kyle, and he's super nice. Like even today, like, he was like, "Hey, dude, can you send me the art for the episode?" He's like, "I'd love to I'd love to put it out on Instagram and help promote the show." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, man."
So much more on top of that shit than me.
Yeah. So it's really fucking awesome, dude. And I'm glad that you guys were able to team up and make it happen. And I remember you told the story, and hopefully this isn't. I don't think this is like scooping anything, but you basically said Kyle was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna start, cutting down some of the footage," and then next thing you knew, he pretty much had the film edited, right? Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, essentially. So when we started, obviously we didn't have, we didn't have very much money. We were lucky enough to have, a little bit of money, and we got a little bit of help from somewhere that I'm not gonna say, but.
Yeah.
And the majority of the money went into travel, because I went out to LA, and then Kyle came here, and then we went to New York, and then I went to LA again, and then we had to go to Las Vegas to film some stuff. So, we didn't have a lot of money, but from the beginning of it, we said we want to hire a good editor, because a lot of film fests, if you've got your movie edited by certain people, you kind of get a better chance of getting in somewhere.
Sure.
So we're like, we'll take a look at it. So we finished all the principal filming, and Kyle was like, I'll just kind of start to pull some stuff together. And like, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 weeks, he sent me one little clip of like all the stuff from the 70s. Then he sent me the clip for the stuff from the 80s. And then he sent me the stuff for the clip from the 90s. And then the stuff that was like all the internet stuff. And he's like, what do you think? And I put them together and sent them back to him. And I'm like, it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a fucking movie.
So it was like, we don't even need somebody else.
Yeah.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, and and based on what we saw, like it just flowed well. Like, and I know whenever we talk to people that have done documentaries, once you have all the footage in the can, it's sort of like you still don't really know quite the way the narrative is going to go. It still takes shape in editing, and it sounds like I mean, obviously Kyle did a great job of putting a story together and editing it together and making a cohesive documentary.
Well, I mean, we were smart too because we went into it knowing the story we wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And basing most of the interviews off of the same questions. Obviously certain people get different questions, and
sure.
We tried, but we knew what we wanted. So as we were going through each interview, we knew what we needed from people. We're like, well, we got a lot of stuff about cable, so we don't need to talk about cable. But you know what? No one's talked about Laserdiscs. Let's talk about Laserdiscs a little bit. So we were able to like have everything we needed for the story we knew we wanted to tell beforehand. And then obviously there's all those like magical little nuggets that come through with stuff. And it's the thing is, it's like I'd like to do a longer director's cut at some point because we just have so much awesome footage that just couldn't make it into the movie.
Yep.
Like we've been putting out those little clips each week, and I mean none of that stuff's in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like we could go for hours.
How many hours of footage did you guys get roughly? I know you told me the number once and I couldn't remember.
Approximately, I don't know, 35, 40 hours of just footage.
I have a question. How many hours of that is Scarlata? Because I'll tell you this, it's not enough.
Scarlata, man, I think we sat. The plan was to sit down and do 40 minutes, and I think we did about 90.
Oh my god! Like just
Magical.
hearing him be fucking pissed about the VHS covers were the greatest. With a highlight for me. I was laughing like for hours after that.
Yeah.
There's no gargoyle on this.
Where's the fucking demon with the mace? Like, he drops so many F-bombs. He's the reason we'll get an R rating because he just drops so many fucking F-bombs. But let me give you a Scarlata story. And if for the listeners that don't know who Steve Scarlata is, he produced Jodorowsky's Dune and he wrote Beyond the Gates.
Yep.
Among other things, he also did a hardcore documentary back in the late '90s, and he's like the raddest dude ever.
Yep,
he's amazing.
So. Where we filmed with this at this studio, a guy named Jim Coons, who basically, if you've ever watched any genre release, he's the guy that does all of the special features for everything. So we filmed at his studio with Scarlata, and Jack Bennett was there helping out. And there's this weird Time Cop old VHS standee in Jim's studio for some reason. And it's in the background. And I think there's a picture on our Facebook where you can see it in the background lurking. And then Scarlata's like, yeah, I keep looking out there and all I can see is Van Damme. And then Jack Bennett immediately was like, yeah, well, what's your favorite Van Damme movie? And then the two of them just start going back and forth about shitty action movies while we're recording. Jack is just in the background. He's not mic'd or anything. He's just yelling. He's like, yeah, well, what about Street Fighter? And it's like, what about Street Fighter? And then Scarlata goes off in this thing. Everything the dude says is usable. Like,
it's fucking gold.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That dude's the best. We were so happy that we got a chance to hang out. Bark is a big fan of Steven Scarlata.
Yeah. That's dog for happy 6-year anniversary.
Thank you, Bark.
The dog's actually like, why are you still up?
Yeah.
If you shut up, what are you doing? Come here.
Bark is a regular on Outside the Cinema.
He is. How to sleep on the couch for an hour? I figured it was good.
He's like, I gotta fucking take a leak.
He probably does. barking out the window incessantly out. There's nothing out there. There's just just barking into the backyard. Hey, Mark Wahlberg, man.
Wait, isn't this how a lot of horror movies start? Dog barking at nothing.
Yep.
Be careful, Bill.
I know it's a lot of pornos start.
Okay.
You're a weird fucking guy.
Or end.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
chance you're
yeah.
gonna have to take. Open the back door.
They only start like that on DVD.
Exactly. So, is there anyone else in the documentary that you want to talk about? You know, like you can leave some for surprises, but I don't know if there's anyone else you want to mention.
I mean, in this day and age, nothing's really a surprise because everything's on IMDb because everyone wants to make sure they get credit for stuff. But
True.
I mean, some of the fun, the most fun interviews were, I mean, Scarlett was easily the most fun because it was so relaxed. But getting to sit and meet Ted Raimi was amazing. And then, Jesus Christ, come on, Bark. You okay? All right. Obviously, Lloyd Kaufman.
He loves Lloyd. Big fan.
Fan of Class of Nukem High. Lloyd Kaufman hates everyone. Now he's late. He laid back down.
He likes Lloyd. That's why.
Yeah, and like Mar said earlier, getting to spend time with people that we're friends with, making sure that like you guys and like Krista hosts Outside the Center with me, and Eric and Andrea and like all these people that we have like worked with consistently over the years, and having them be part of this alongside guys like Adam Green and Joe Bob Briggs and these guys that are like these amazing like people that have done these amazing things, and being able to meld those worlds together is probably my favorite part of it, because I get to focus on what I love, but then also shed a light on my friends and what they do, along with these people that I respect and have looked up to for years. So it's like kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because it's almost like it's cyclical, because you guys were in Phantasm, like Kyle had put you guys in Phantasm, and that was kind of like a cool thing, like for you guys to be featured in that. And now it's like, now that you're doing something with Kyle, and you had asked us to be in it, and I was just honored that you even asked us, and and I really appreciate that. It's cool to Bark. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
Is Bark in it?
He's barking at my reflection in the window. Hey, who's that guy?
Well,
Get out of my house.
At least you're not a vampire.
I know, right?
Bark wants to give his opinion on Survival of the Film Freaks.
He loves it.
He's seen it at least 5 times.
He's like, hey, you schmuck, put me in volume 2, will you?
He used to... Shit again, Jesus.
So, and I saw the clip you guys posted. I think it was about 2 weeks ago now, the Joe Bob Briggs one, because obviously with the last drive-in debuting on Shudder and everything, like, it's cool to see Joe Bob be kind of back, and it's cool to have him featured in the documentary. He is the guy when it comes to cult cinema, right?
Oh yeah, it was basically like, if we can't get Joe Bob Briggs, maybe we don't do this.
Yeah.
But he was on board from almost the get-go. It was like, we sent him an email, or send his people an email, and we're like, listen, this is what we're doing. This is the explanation. Bounce it off and see what he thinks. Yeah. And immediately was like, oh yeah, absolutely. We just got to work out when it was. It took us about 4 or 5 months to actually really kind of get it like set up and done. And then it was a kind of a hectic shoot, because it was actually the last interview that we filmed for the movie. And we did it at the Alamo Draft House in Yonkers. And we had to set up in like the front foyer why there was like movies, why they were open. Because apparently the Alamo Draft House in Yonkers doesn't have like a room that we could use. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, we're filming an interview with Joe Bob tonight. Is there a room that we can set up in? And they're like, there's the break room.
The break room.
And I'm like, okay, is that cool? Well, if you guys use the break room, where are we going to take our breaks? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, so it ended up working out really good, but he's another one that just everything that he says comes out of his mouth is just gold.
Yeah,
and, you know who I would have loved to see
How do you know he's
interviewed-
not in it? You didn't see it.
Because the man's dead.
Well, maybe they got him from beyond the grave.
I would have gone, Bill, if
Is
the guy wasn't dead.
Mike Vraney
Oh yeah.
from Something Weird Video?
Oh yeah.
He would have been he would have been an incredible interview, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've seen interviews with him. Wealth of knowledge. I think Joe Bob actually brought him up during the interview about being one of those first guys that really started to churn out all that weird stuff. Because Something Weird was, I mean, when they were their VHSs, they put out all those like old school scare films and like the psychedelic like films, and then
Right.
like the anti-drug films, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. All that stuff that I basically used in OTC's pre-shows for years.
Right.
All Something Weird.
All the acid trippy, bad girls go to hell.
Oh yeah,
kind of
amazing
movies.
stuff.
Great stuff too.
Amazing stuff.
So we can look forward to seeing the Survival of the Film Freaks world premiere later on at a film festival to be named sometime later this summer, and it definitely will be playing at the Shauna Shea Film Festival in October
Yes.
here in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
We'll be at Rock and Shock. I don't know whether they're doing a film room this year. I haven't heard anything. So if they're doing films, it'll show. If not, we'll still be there. We'll have posters and
Yeah.
stuff. So
The
Well, we also have. Sorry to cut you off, Mars. But we also have another scoop on the show. We have a guest joining us right now with a hot scoop.
Who's this?
Go ahead, guest.
I think there's a really big hot scoop coming.
oh god, right on your chest, probably. Can't get it. This has got nothing to do with Outside the Cinema. Why are you here?
I'm not here about outside the cinema. I'm here about, well, first of all, I know that Bill's been rude, and I don't know if he's even mentioned the fact that it's your 6-year anniversary. I'm not
you.
that kind of guest.
Why would I mention that?
Kinda
I've
guess.
been doing a show for 10 years. It's not a big deal. I had a plan for later, and now you ruined it. So
Well, I think it's a big deal, and that's the first and foremost. I'm putting that out there. I wanted to say hi to Johnny and Mars, and Aries, and MZ, and Raven Shadow, because I don't think the other guests did that either.
Thank you.
Thank you.
here's the thing: I know all these dudes. I know them a lot longer than you know them.
I know they got.
I've met Aries a number of times
movies.
over the years now too. So it's like it's a full thing, man. We're friends. We don't always have to kiss each other's ass every time we get on the air.
Oh no, I love my ass kissed.
On a kiss.
Oh,
That's
well,
fine.
you got to speak up, man. Then
So Reverend Scott is now joining us, and Reverend Scott had a big announcement to make.
This is a big deal. I know you might have thought you were listening to something that was a big deal a little bit earlier when you were talking to a different guest, but I wanted to officially announce that I too am a filmmaker. I have my own documentary. It is going to premiere the day before Bill's. It's called The Original Survival of the Film Freaks.
Were you hired by Golan and Globus?
I was primarily financed by Asylum Films. It's gonna be spectacular. It's going to be better than any other film that's even similar to it.
wonderful.
Now I'll go to that.
Oh.
That's pretty low, I gotta say.
Are you actually gonna go, or are you just gonna say you're gonna go?
I guess time will tell now, won't it?
You can at least accept the invite and just not go.
So
That's still more than you did for me.
I just got a little hot off the presses here, Reverend Scott, of some of these great guests you're gonna have. I'm looking down. Boyd Kaufman, Lloyd's brother. He's gonna be in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I got Ted Raimi's housemaid. She's going to be on there.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, there's a couple local guys here. They work at the 7-Eleven. They know a lot about movies. I mean, it's
Well,
you only got 3 hours here, so I'm not going to really just run through all of them. but I mean, it's a much more impressive list of people than you may have heard any previous times tonight, at least.
That's true. And from Trick or Treat Radio, you got Michael Ravenshadow and Monster Zero on that one. So. That's nice.
And then don't you have the waitress from the Pub 99?
The 99, right?
Yep.
So yeah,
Whoa,
she
really?
works for Flirtini, so I mean it was definitely in my budget.
Sounds like the guest list at this year's Chiller.
Yeah. The biggest crew. See if I'm reading this right, because I wrote my notes very poorly. Was something about though you don't have Chris from Outside the Cinema, you did manage to get your film scored by Fogwitch.
I did, yes. I thought it was
Fog Wizard. Fog Wizard.
Fog Wizard,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, no, they
got
didn't want to
Fog
get
Wizard.
any heat, so they made an alternate.
Oh, and don't you have the original co-host of Outside the Cinema on it as well?
Yes. I got. Well, he goes by
Good
Brian.
luck with that. Anyone remember that guy? He completely disappeared.
He assured me that he has plenty to talk about. He's written it all down on a napkin that he brought in.
I for one cannot wait for the original Survival of the Film Freaks.
You should see the poster. It looked.
Is it financed by InfoWars?
Yeah, it's very similar to. It looks kind of like what was the? Let me find. I'm trying to find the exact thing here. It was the. It's very similar to the cover of the Elijah Wood version of Maniac. So I mean, I feel like it's such a big deal that it's going to get copied. There's going to be people trying to ride my coattails on the deal.
Imitators, man, you got to watch out for them, man.
There's so many of them. I mean, there's probably at least one just sitting in the room. He's on Skype right now. I don't know. It's not my concern, really.
Look at Aries. I think he's dying over here.
I know. Is he all right?
Yeah, this shit's brilliant. I'm sorry.
He's also just upset that there hasn't been a third generation one for him to be on.
I think you finally broke him.
Give it time. Give it time.
That's the original Survival of the Film Freaks.
That's right. How long?
The real original.
No,
I heard you were talking about a different documentary earlier tonight.
The new
How long is the one you were talking about earlier tonight?
Now 1 hour and 27 minutes.
That's interesting. Mine's an hour and 28 minutes.
And I gotta ask Scott, is Film Freaks with a Z?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good,
well,
good. It's very edgy.
Yeah, I mean we filmed a lot of stuff in Canada. We saved some money there. I mean that's even north of you guys. And I think, I'm probably going to do like a little special premiere that I'll invite all but one of you to.
In your backyard?
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
I can't wait. Well, what you could do actually is you have to invite MZ, and you can actually you can screen it on his stomach. You can just put him up. He'll be the screen.
Oh, it's a little.
Well, it's good to have a nice broad white surface to put it on.
See?
Actually, I think if you view it on my stomach, it'll be like those old tube TVs from the 1950s that you see in sci-fi films.
Practically in 3D.
They always seem to be playing the news.
Yeah. Though I find it super unrealistic that anybody would put anything with survival on Monster Zero.
But Freaks would suffice. I could live with that.
That's right, especially with the Z.
Yeah.
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 So,
well, I was going to say I really wanted to do something special tonight, And as much as I would love to send you something that you could play 3 hours from now, I just have, for some reason, I have far less time to do that kind of stuff than I did about a month ago.
Yes.
It's just something's different. And I did want to say to Mars though, I really got a kick out of listening. I got to listen to you guys talking about my new little squirt here live.
Yes.
I believe I was I'm trying to think. I think I was in the hospital at the time you were talking about it. Yeah, I was. So we were sitting there in the hospital.
Yeah, I think literally you guys had your baby on a Wednesday night, or was it a Wednesday day or something like that? Because I think
it was a 2:00 in the 2:08 p.m.
That's right. Yeah, because we were talking back and forth, and then that's when we went on, and Mars had mentioned it, and we were talking about it on the show. So yeah, it's so. She'll have to, you'll have to show her some Trick or Treat Radio when she's older. She was born on the same day that we have our show.
She'll be older by the time this episode's over.
So wait till she's like 4 or 5.
I don't know, Scott. Are you going by the Mr. Chris school of movie watching? Has she watched Elm Street yet?
Yeah, I mean, we watched a little Serbian film last night.
There you go. Nice. Now go to bed.
Now go to bed.
Pleasant dreams.
Pleasant dreams.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm going to... I feel like Chris kind of sets the bar pretty high or low, depending on how you look at it. I know my other daughter, we try to watch... We just watched every single Final Destination movie the other night. So, I mean... But she's 13, so I guess it's a little different.
Yeah, like about 5.5 years different.
Right.
Yeah.
What movie did you give a small child? Was it Serbian film?
No, Hostel 2.
No, Hostel 2.
Yeah, you fucking asshole.
Like
and fetus.
He was like 8 or 9 years old, and he gave the kid Hostel 2 for his birthday.
And fetus.
Isn't Hostel 2 the one where she cuts the dude's dick off at the end of it?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a class act, Rich. Class act.
And it's amazing that he turned out to be a more well-adjusted than MZ, that's for sure.
Yeah.
More well-adjusted than any of us.
True.
Well, we also don't know how many prostitutes he has in his backyard. But
He looked into the darkness and he saw Monster Zero and just turned and went the other way.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and post up. We got a Raven J drawing right now.
Ooh,
and
nice.
It's of Bill and Bark Wahlberg, and it says,
"Oh God,
shut up! There's nothing there." And then you see Bark barking, and then outside the window is a fucking demon.
Oh my God!
Awesome.
That says that's what he thinks.
it's a ghoul.
It's a ghoul, yeah.
That's great.
That's pretty good.
It's a good ghoul.
That's pretty creepy
shit.
looking,
Be
actually.
cool to your school.
That look good in the studio.
Maybe his next drawing could be the original Survival of the Film Freaks.
What would that look like, though?
Amazing is what it looked like.
Perfect.
All right, Scott. Is there anything else? I know you have like probably the best Twitter account on Twitter. Do you want to talk about that? Anything else you want to hype up?
I mean, I can mention it. I don't know that it's the best anymore because it all goes downhill after the first 7 years or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's Reverend _ Scott. If you were so inclined to see, well, I mean, it's probably going to be turning into mainly a dad joke account now.
Nice.
So I mean, I'll have to put my focus out to lean off of the Biden jokes and maybe some of the dog focused content and lean a little bit more in that direction. But you times change.
Children, right?
That's right, but they existed before Twitter.
Oh.
And also,
Now, granted, they're
this
still
one's
there.
a baby with a Z.
That's right.
Babies.
Her name is Mila with a Z.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, yeah, I mean, I'm occasionally on this other podcast. It's a podcast that I named Outside the Cinema.
The original Outside the Cinema.
Yeah, I'm going to start my own podcast pretty soon, and then I'm going to stop sending stuff into that one, and it will be
It's going to be the same show.
Yeah, we're gonna be calling it TOOTC, the original outside the cinema. So keep your ears out for that one. It's gonna be better than any cult movie podcast you've ever heard before.
I'm already subscribed. I think.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in your feed soon. But congratulations again. I mean, yeah, it may not be 10 years, but eventually it will be. You know it.
If we
You can't stop now.
If we don't kill each other.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Well, who's gonna kill who? I mean,
I don't know.
It's a free for all.
Yeah.
no,
It's a free for all.
because Aries
I'm,
could beat us
I'm
all.
gonna kill y'all.
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, Aries is gonna be the only one left standing.
No, maybe Johnny, because I can't work all the electronics,
Yeah.
so I need someone.
Here's the thing about 10 years. What are the odds of, I obviously, as hard as I try, can't die. And, Monster Zero here he's either going to have a heart attack or burst any time now.
Or
Well,
both.
the same
Yeah.
could be said for you.
I'm not going to have a heart attack.
I think
wait.
I have at least 5 years left.
I don't know, sir.
Who you
Well,
got?
when you call yourselves the Deadites, I can't imagine even getting killed is going to really stop anything.
No.
This is true.
Reverend Scott, who you got in the Trick or Treat Radio death pool?
What, going first?
Oh,
Yeah, going first.
going first. Well, I'm still leaning towards MZ, depending on what jokes he tells himself.
Boy, was that a golden moment, huh?
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
best
to
movie
you.
of the show ever.
To you, maybe. No one else even fucking knew you passed
No,
out.
I know, you
You
bastards.
could have passed away and we wouldn't
Yeah.
have known.
Died.
Well,
You weren't even here.
You could have passed away and no one would have known.
He's quiet. Why is it smelling here?
The only one who would have noticed would have been him, and it would have been Mars, and he wasn't even here at the time.
Yeah, I was on TV. I was on Skype, I mean TV.
TV.
And these two boneheads, they're just like.
To be fair, I watched you die and I didn't say anything either. so.
Fucking died on the air, for Christ's sake, man.
All right, so I think we're going to take a break in just a moment here. But I do want to thank Reverend Scott for coming on because it's always a pleasure to have you grace us with your presence, especially live. And we're big fans of yours and of your talents and also of just you. Like it's always awesome to hang out with you.
Yeah, I
And,
love you, dude.
He's overrated.
If I could be there, every day, I would. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, I don't know.
Stop,
Yeah.
stop threatening
Let's
us.
slow it down. But I appreciate it. This is one of the few live times I've been on here with you guys,
Yeah.
and it's always rather humorous, especially now. I mean, when you get to hear about my various talents, such as filmmaking, I know that it raises up the bar on the show a little bit.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're gonna head to a break in just a moment. Raven Shadow, get ready. You're gonna do the whole Demonwarp thing. Mars, yeah.
I have a super quick thing, and I'm only going to tease it
Yeah.
because I didn't get together with Doctor by Force and really work things out. But here's one thing I will say: Bill by Force is bringing some talent to the Masquerade Extravaganza this year. That's
yeah.
going to blow everyone's fucking mind apart.
Oh, it's gonna be so sick.
Are we talking about that?
I
guess this is the beginning of the
Yeah, there's the road to the Masquerade
yeah the
Extravaganza starts
road
here.
yeah.
So it's gonna be. Should we let the cat out of the bag, Bill, or should we wait a while and?
No, yeah. I mean, I would say build as much anticipation for him as we can.
Yeah. So why don't you tell everybody who you introduced me to and who's coming, man?
Alrighty, so my buddy Jimmy Gonzalez, he's in Survival of the Film Freaks. He directed a film called The Red Man, but his main thing is he's a DJ. And a few years ago, he started doing this. Well, probably about 10 years ago now. He started doing this thing called cinema therapy, and it's basically a video DJ set where he DJs live and links it up with video footage, and it's amazing. And he's gonna come to Rock and Shock this year, and he's gonna perform at the Masquerade, and it's gonna be fucking balls everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, MZ's gonna love it then.
Well, it's on a Friday night. He may say he's.
You can't make it. You can't make it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was excited because I trust your opinion, and then he sent me some clips, and I was like, this is going to be fucking completely off the reservation. So,
what name does he go by again, Bill?
Speedy.
Speedy?
Yeah, let me get you all the website information.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually just posted a thing on the OTC Facebook page where he did a cinema therapy quick mini Jaws thing, which is pretty fucking cool actually.
Is that the? So you sent me some tracks I was going to play. Is that who this is, or is this?
The tracks I sent you were from the Survival of the Film Freak score.
Okay.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a sec.
Yep.
But yeah, so his name is Jimmy Gonzalez. His film, if you haven't seen his film, it's called The Red Man, and it's great too. And his DJ name, he goes by Speedy. But you can look him up at cinematherapy.com or just look up Jimmy Gonzalez on Facebook too. He's on there too.
Nice.
So, and you can pick up his latest video mix, which is Video Nasties on Diabolic DVD. And
nice.
If they've still got the Blu-ray, it comes in this awesome Blu-ray case that's a fold over like an old school clamshell case.
nice.
And it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds super cool. I'm really excited to check him out at the Trick or Treat Radio Masquerade. So that's a big get there, Mars, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they might. I think because of it, we still got to bang some things out, but there's going to be a little bit of rebranding. So it's gonna be pretty fucking dope. I can't wait. I can't wait for this year. And that's not the only surprise that we have up our sleeves. So it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Well,
so.
Mars. Hey, Mars. Do you want to talk about who I was going to bring?
Yeah, I guess now's as good a time as any.
Now's a good time as any because I am bringing DJ even more speedy. And
DJ Faster.
DJ, yeah.
DJ faster than Speedy.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's DJ 88 miles per hour.
Thanks.
That's right.
But
No, I know that. I don't know that dude personally, but I know I have listened to his stuff and watched Redman, and the dude is very legit. So it is an awesome guy to have.
by the way, Reverend Scott, are you watching the live feed now still?
I was on my phone, but now I'm using my phone because Skype did not want to cooperate on the computer for some unknown reason.
Well, I'm just about to post up Raven J's drawing of the original Survival of the Film Freaks poster. It is fucking awesome. Can you guys see it?
I'm having my wife bring it. Actually, let me. I can.
I can't.
The original.
That's awesome.
Did he really make?
He drew a picture like really quickly. It's fucking awesome.
Hold on, I gotta bring this up now.
I'll keep
So
it
don't
up.
make it go away.
Yeah, I'll keep it
Okay.
up until you see it.
Wow.
Oh, it's incredible.
The original
Yeah.
Survival of the Film Freaks.
That's great.
Awesome.
Oh.
Tits on those man-
I know, right? Yeah. It's so good, Raven J. Thanks, man.
Holy shit!
That's gonna be his new wallpaper.
Yeah.
Dude, is that the Stave Puft Marshall Man right there?
He's the Michelin Man, right?
I thought it was the Michelin Man.
Why is the Michelin Man in there?
Dude, is that Elijah Wood? This is.
I think so.
This is almost picture perfect to my cover.
I thought that was James Woods.
No. Now you got a poster. It's
Tiger
real.
Woods?
It's real now.
Now you have to make it.
Yep.
See, 2 years, dude.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up here. So, Reverend Scott, thanks again, man. Always a pleasure to hang out with you again. Congratulations on the birth of your daughter. And hopefully, I would imagine we may not see you this year because of that, but hopefully we get to see you soon.
You never know what's going to happen. I wouldn't hold your breath. So you never know. But I do appreciate all the love and support that I get from all you guys, even Bill. And I just wanted to say peace and love, guys.
That's awesome.
All right.
Bubba
Take
right
care,
on,
Reverend
man.
Scott.
What he doesn't know is that I'm probably going to have to come live with him soon.
He lives in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Better him than me.
Yeah, the middle of
like
nowhere.
you have to drive
is a
2
little
hours
bit-
to get to the closest airport.
Yeah, well, I don't drive at all, so it's, after 2 million miles, a walk is a walk, I guess. Spending sleeping on my deck.
He totally blew up my spot, though, guys. When we finished the segment, I was gonna go into this nice thing about, the friendship we've gotten in the 6 years you guys have put in and the hard work, and like, totally now it doesn't mean anything. I'm proud of you guys, and I love you guys.
Oh,
Thanks,
So
Bill.
glad that we've
Thank you.
become friends over
Thanks,
the
dude.
years.
Thank you, Bill.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember we had been doing this for a few months. It was our first Rock and Shock there. We were there mostly as the Deadites, but we were trying to promote Trick or Treat Radio. And Mars, I had actually never listened to you guys at the time, but Mars was like, "Oh, outside the cinema, those guys are here. We're gonna go say hi. We're gonna go say hi." And I don't know. Had you ever called in at that point, Mars? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think you had.
I was really nervous about calling in shows.
Yeah.
I called in, like 2 years probably after that. I called in to like a show and and they just made fun of me the whole time. So.
Well, and that was the year you guys were like the official podcast of Rock and Shock. So you were
Did a lot for us.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah. You were doing, but you guys were interviewing a lot of people. You guys were super busy, and so we were kept trying to like walk by the booth to say hi, and like Mars was like, all right, let's go say hi, and then, like you guys are always busy. So finally we went up and we're like, hey, like we're doing a podcast, blah blah blah. like I don't remember.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fucking amateurs.
And we talked.
What are your stupid goggles for?
You probably made fun of our names then too, but I remember like after talking with you guys, like I think we talked on like a Friday or Saturday, and then we ended up talking a few times throughout the weekend, and then I remember towards the end of the weekend, you found out that I edit the podcast, and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't fucking edit! Don't fucking edit the podcast!" And I'm like, "Oh, but I like it to sound good." And like,
I like to remove all the ums and ohs.
yeah, exactly. And that literally planted the seed in my head, and I was like, you know what? This is fucking like painstaking. Like I would spend 8 hours editing a 3-hour show or 2-hour show,
No
or whatever.
need for it.
Yeah.
No need, man.
Now you know how I feel every week.
Yeah, no, that's true. The level
That's
of
only
work
like 5
I have
minutes
to put into a
with
segment.
audio.
Yeah.
Seriously, he puts more work into that 5-minute segment than I do into a 2-hour show.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. I believe it. And so that's why like that's kind of that little seed of an idea is sort of, I don't know, like if I was still editing the show, I don't know that we'd still be doing it. Like seriously,
No,
like I wouldn't have time,
I'm gonna
I'm
go
a
back.
firm believer, man. Like for the style of podcast you guys do, which is similar to the type of like free form stuff that OTC does.
Yeah.
Editing it really sucks the life out of it. You
Yeah.
listen to an edited, scripted podcast when you want to listen to something that's a scripted podcast.
Exactly.
But if you want to listen to just like, you listen to live radio, they're not editing,
Right.
Toucher and Rich as they're broadcasting in the morning. It's a different world. And if you're editing a stuff that's supposed to be lively and like upbeat and like a freeform conversation, and you take all those little things out of it, it's like, yeah, it's going to sound cleaner, but it's not really who you are.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, as far as just the little bit of audio that I throw out every week, it's always surprising to me what stuff gets laughs that I didn't expect to get laughs.
Right.
And when you edit certain stuff out, especially when you're dealing with 3 hours of stuff, when you edit stuff out, sometimes you get rid of stuff that you didn't realize other people were just going to fucking love the shit out of.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, what could be funny to someone could might not be funny to others, and vice versa. So it's absolutely true. And and even on the show, sometimes people will comment and be like, oh, like that fucking bit you guys did was hilarious, and we'll be like, I didn't even think it was that funny, or I don't remember it.
Yeah,
And
this whole show is indicative for that for me because I think the whole thing's fucking stupid. But people think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
So
Makes
We're
me
just
wish I
being
was
us.
dead.
We're not scripting. We're not trying to plan anything. We just do what we do off the top of our heads.
well, and that's why it works, because otherwise, if we did have any forethought whatsoever,
Right.
then
the organic feel of it would be completely lost.
I mean, I will give credit to you two because you make the show unique. Like there are a lot of shows about people who, like there's a lot of grumpy old men, and like there's a lot of people who know.
Fuck you too.
I was pointing at me too. There's a lot of
I'm
people who
not-
know a lot about movies, but I mean, Raven Shadow, you couldn't be more of a New England cliche if the Kennedys and the Sopranos had a baby. And I believe Miss Wiley summed up, Monster Zero most perfectly when she said on a scale of 1 to 10, Monster Zero should be rated on a spectrum. So,
Wow. You didn't say that.
so the reality is that
You can't say that.
I'll give you guys credit where credit is due because I would edit you just off every week.
Bombadil.
So
I listen to every single minute of every show that I listen to, but Trick or Treat Radio is one of the ones that, I'm out mowing my lawn and doing stuff outside for 3 hours, and I'll listen to the whole damn thing every single week. And every show I enjoy, and if somebody's not there, there's a different feel to that show when they're not there as opposed to when they are.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a dynamic that is involved. Every single person has that little something different that they contribute, whether they know it or not.
Thank you, Reverend Scott.
yeah,
He wasn't talking to you.
I wasn't talking about you. I like when you're not here.
I do too.
So I do think that one thing was a big, I may have come upon it myself eventually. I don't know, but you mentioning that planted the seed, and from that point on, that led to us recording, all the way through, straight through with no editing, which led to us going live. Which the live show just adds such a more dynamic element because you have to be on, right? Because people are watching you at that moment. You have to be on. You have to.
It's that spontaneity that
And
you
also
got to keep up with for the
like
next
I mentioned in the
3.5 hours.
intro, sometimes you fuck up. You swing at low-hanging fruit and you say something dumb, or you know what I mean. But it's all live and it's all real honest.
Yeah.
You know?
And so that was I just thought that I guess
I think it's one of the most quintessential thing that anyone's ever done to us or said for
yeah,
us.
and it doesn't work for every podcast. I've actually recommended to some people, hey, why do you edit? And then they tell me oh, well, we do these scripted things, and I'm like, okay, well, that I understand. You're crazy, but sure, I get it.
Sure.
But
Yeah, we used to do stuff like that, man. It's not.
yeah, it's
too
not
much work.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But if you have a free form conversation like we do and like you guys do, it just works so much better. Just to do that. So if there's any perspective or podcasters or people that do podcast, consider it because when I go back and check out some of the old shows, I cringe because there's no energy. When I listen to the first couple episodes, it's like, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio. This is Johnny Wolfenstein. I feel like I'm trying to be on fucking NPR or some shit.
I do like that it's just me and you though.
Well, sure, but the show wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hey,
Wasn't very
have a
good
good
with
walk
you, just
home
you
today.
guys. I agree. It wasn't very good with you, just you two.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't good without energy.
Right.
But it just led to more and more, and now I think that I don't think the show would have survived as long if we hadn't have sort of made that evolution. So
Nobody fought in those days.
well, yeah, because
It's
You were all
you-
actually happy
It's
to be
because we
there.
could hang up on you two
Yeah, 'cause you
assholes,
were
and I
on-
like
yeah.
the two people that are on the show.
you were on for 45 minutes and then we
Yeah.
hang up on you.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, well, we're running really, really long, so I want to just kind of put an end to this intro. And so, once again, everyone keep an eye out for Survival, the Film Freaks. Bill, if you could let people know where they could find you guys on social media.
We're on Facebook. Obviously, that's probably the best place to go. It's where we've been posting all the Film Freaks extras every week. I think this week's is Rob from Shockwaves, and also he's one of the guys over at Bloody Disgusting Presents or Dread Central. Dread Central.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got one of those coming out with him this week. And yeah, the Facebook page, just search Survival of the Film Freaks. We have a website if you go to survivalofthefilmfreaks.com, but I don't really know how to use Wix, so I haven't updated it in like 10 months. So, and then Twitter and Instagram at Film Freaks Movie. And that's where you find all of them.
Cool.
There you go. And Reverend Scott, where can people find out more about the original Survival of the Film Freaks?
It's at Original Film Freaks Movie. Everywhere you can imagine. I update it at least every 6 to 5 minutes.
6 to 5 minutes.
Still happening is every tweet. It's all it says. It's still going to happen.
Yeah, I've spent this entire time on the phone just updating my website.
That is different connotations in our group. That's a euphemism in our in joke. All right, so everyone go follow those. We're gonna say goodbye to Reverend Scott in just a moment, and Bill's gonna stick around. We're gonna talk about Demonwarp, but Raven Shadow.
Yes.
You sit down to watch Demonwarp. What do you do to prepare for this fucking film?
Oh, I've been trying to fucking get out of this fucking depression, Johnny. I've been kind of marinating in a fucking sauce of despair for like a long time, you know? And it's right, it sucks.
No. It's not that it sucks. It's very humorous.
Yeah, it's really laugh Olympics at my fucking house. We're laughing all the time.
Oh, yeah. We'll all come over and laugh at you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But now I get excited because after all this, fermentation, I have a new thing to look forward to. Our 6-year anniversary. And I find out there's going to be a new movie.
The one you nominated.
The one I nominated. It's right. Demonwarp.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the fucking Demon Time Warp again. I don't know what the fuck. And, I don't know. Stuck a strap on. Yeah, 6 more years.
6 more. All right, Reverend Scott, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you so much.
Peace and love, guys. Have a great night. Happy 6 years. I'm going to go to bed.
All right, thanks, buddy. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes, folks.
It's just a jump to the left.
Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electro-genre band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
I'm Ruby Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
Like comics.
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
All right, we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. In the background there, we're listening to a little music from Survival, the Film Freaks. Not the original Survival, but...
I fucking dick.
And the name of the track is This Thing We Have Created Is Called Cold. Do you want to talk real quick, Bill, about who did the music?
I did the music.
You did that music?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, I thought you
That's all
collaborated
me.
with someone. Okay, nice.
Well, that one's all me. Most of the we licensed a few songs. One of them is by a band called September '87, which, if you've been watching the clips, is the super retro '80s synthwave song that's in it, which is like legit like one of my favorite fucking songs ever. Those guys, they just do more music. They've only done like an EP, and it's fucking amazing. There's a Cold Collective song, and my buddy Gus, whose rap name, that sounds so weird to say that, but he goes by OK Doc, so he's got a song in there. And then, like, there's 2 or 3 songs that I did, and then I collaborated with my friend Jason Maas, who runs a recording studio, and he was the lead guitar player and principal songwriter in the hardcore band Defeater for about 10, or maybe not 10 years, but for a long chunk of time. So, we got our hands all over everything.
Awesome, yeah. So, playing that track there. All right, well, now we're going to talk about the listener pick. Demonwarp won the popular vote. Mars, do you want to talk real quick about that? Because it looked for a while like New York Ripper is going to win.
Yeah, and I was down about that a little bit. Like, I wouldn't mind watching New York Ripper, but I just wanted to watch something real fun. Like that, I felt like we were celebrating. Like we didn't.
New York Ripper fun?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's why he didn't want to watch New York Ripper.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm glad that Demonwarp pulled it out at the end.
It was close. Literally came down to the last minute.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If
won
you do
by
want to
2
hear
votes,
a
right?
review of the New York Ripper, Outside the Cinema just reviewed it about 2 weeks ago as part of July-Lo.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. So you guys...
Which also bothered me. Not that you guys did it, but that I felt like, I don't know, we'd be like doing a cover song version of people who actually knew what they were talking about.
I love
I don't know
New
who
York
you're
Ripper.
talking about.
I love New York Ripper. What a movie.
Oh, yeah,
it
it's
is.
awesome.
Sleaze. Such a sleaze.
Why
fest.
didn't you vote for that then? You could have made New
Because-
York Ripper win.
Because I wanted Wang Wang to win.
I like
wanted
Ralph
for your,
Nader.
I wanted for your height only to win.
Yeah, but it was when it was close to being over and it was close to the minute. Like there was no way it could win. You could have changed your vote and we could have reviewed New York.
Let me
Ripper.
ask you something before we start. Let me ask you something.
What?
How many people did you get in touch with to ask to vote for Demonwarp?
4.
400.
You actually had to
Deadites.
coerce people to vote so you wouldn't have to review New York Ripper?
No, what happened was
He
someone.
called his our friend in Kostroma, Russia.
Right. What ended up happening was someone was
Because I figured that's what it was.
No, see now you have to. Now you're going to talk about stuff we didn't want to talk about. Not that end of things. There was someone inviting people into the group just to vote.
Which is fine. There's
totally
nothing
fine.
wrong with that.
No, but I decided I was going to fight fire with fire.
As long as they stay in the group.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You have
So
to stay
I was
within the
gonna
group.
fight fire
Voter
with fire then,
fraud
but
right
thanks
there.
for being a bitter, fucking old, lumpy
Voter
cock
fraud.
and bringing up stuff
Voter
that shouldn't
fraud.
have.
All right,
I'll
Trump,
chop
don't
you as
worry
hard
about
as I
it.
can.
Calm down, Trump.
Whoa! Wow!
Jesus.
That
Yo,
was
did you guys
Wow.
see
that was
video
a
of the
bitch
guy?
slap.
Yeah.
God damn. My grandmother hits
That
harder
was a
than that.
bitch slap.
Yeah. So
Did you guys see the video
you
of
have
the
to
guy?
learn what you should talk about now. Now, after you ruined the CryptoCast and we had to take all those down, like
I
you're
didn't
just
take them down yet.
you're just consistently ruining everything
How am I ruining this?
because we didn't want to talk about that because I didn't.
Well,
not
who's
that-
we? Because if
not
we
that
didn't
I-
want to...
let me talk.
Okay.
Not that I minded talking about
my
the
God.
fact that that I asked Donna Matrix, the Deadites, and Denmead to vote a certain way. I didn't want to talk about the people who I didn't want to bring up the fact that someone had invited people in to vote, but now you did because you're a fucking idiot. And
Wow.
and now we had to talk about it because you have no idea because you're a child.
What the fuck happened?
All I want to do
Bill,
is go back
Bill,
and
what
forth.
happened?
I want
Bill, help us out here,
I
will you?
want to. I want a Monica Lewinsky Bill by force before he tells Wolfie not to edit it so I can get my podcast.
A
back.
monocle, Lewinsky?
Yeah, without you.
Well, I got another Raven J here.
Please.
You were so fucking
Raven J,
stupid.
keep it coming.
It's Raven Shadow basting himself in a sauce, marinating himself in a pool of despair.
A sauce of despair.
Sauce of despair. Yeah, that's what.
And why wouldn't you campaign for the movie that
you
you
didn't
wanted
want to talk
win?
about it? Now you keep talking about it.
Well, because I'm fucking pissed that he's such an
Yeah,
idiot.
because you fucking bitch slapped
You
him.
let,
first
your,
of
you
all,
let
you
your
s- you
dumb
keep-
idiot friend on the show and he ruins
Well,
everything every
first
time.
of all, hold on.
didn't ruin anything.
Time.
No, shut up. We're
Time.
not going to talk about it anymore.
Time. First of all,
I'm
you keep
stuck
on
here
saying
looking at
we.
your side boobs.
You keep on saying we.
Because-
Where am I in this whole we thing? Had I have known about this, I probably wouldn't have brought it up.
Because we don't tell you anything. Because you
well,
don't
then
even
you
come
should. Well, you should learn.
You don't even come dressed for the show, side boob
I
McGinty.
am dressed.
No, you're not. You're dressed like a homeless man.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Happy anniversary, everybody.
How is this dressed like a homeless man?
Oh, I don't know.
You look like you're holding the fucking "I'll wash your window" sign outside Fenway, and
My skin's red.
all right.
We went so
I
long.
take back all the nice things I said.
Oh man, I just hope this guy dies.
Jesus Christ.
I'll die. It'll be just
Awesome.
years after you. That's all.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I do think so.
You're three of me right now, Fatty Arbuckle.
Fatty Arbuckle.
You probably almost outweigh me by 100 pounds at this point.
100
No,
pounds.
no
I
way.
sincerely doubt
What
that.
are you, 270? 280?
He's like
No,
255. maybe.
I weigh somewhere between 250 260, somewhere in between. I really don't know where, but somewhere between 250 260.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
I am
one.
too.
No, I think he's. I think
No,
that's
not a
legit.
chance.
I weighed 250 like 3 months ago.
I've been consistent at 250, between 250 and 255 for about
And I haven't
2 years.
you haven't weighed yourself in 2 years. That's probably why.
Best part of this is Michael Ravenshadow sitting at a cool 115.
Soaking wet.
Right.
Holding a Yugo.
I wouldn't even believe that Michael Ravenshadow weighed what he weighed, actually.
He weighed
weighed
he weighed
160,
like
right?
I'm gonna guess like 155. 150.
Oh, you're being generous.
Last time I weighed was at the old studio.
Oh yeah, I forget what it was.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Yeah,
What was
no,
it?
you're exactly the same. If anything, you have a little bit more tar in your lungs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fair. I'm getting a little.
little tar in
his
the lungs, a
longer,
little
too.
more hair on the head.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit
which
more
adds
hair.
about
Yeah.
another
Does that
5 to
weight
6
degeneration add or lose weight, though? Does he have less lung because of that, or does the tires make
No,
him
no,
more-
weighs
that-
it
that's
down.
more weight. That's
Weight, yeah,
more
more weight.
mass. So what was it at the studio?
I don't know. Man.
You were...
Oh, fuck
Long-
off! You don't know. You
I
know.
I don't know. Is it like 140?
I remember it was 145, because Tiny was like 160-something.
Yeah.
So...
You weigh
And you're
less than
six-
Well,
you
Tiny-
weigh less than a
Tiny's
motherfucker.
got
And you're
muscle on him,
tiny.
so I
And
can
you're
see why he would be
6'3".
160.
Yeah.
Right.
If I was 5'5", I'd be fucking cut, man. I'd be like the fucking tiny Jason Momoa.
No, you wouldn't be cut.
No, it's all the
And you wouldn't
size.
be just Momoa.
Yeah, I'd be like that. If I was shorter, but I'm stretched out. I'm long.
Oh, God.
You're elongated, man.
I'm elongated.
Taffy boy.
Yeah. You know what? If I was fucking 7'6", I'd be fucking cut too.
That's what I'm
So
saying, man.
fuck
if
off.
If it was different, we could be a tag team.
How do you figure you'd be cut?
Because I'd be like huge, though. Because I'd be stocky.
No, you
I'd be
wouldn't.
You have
tiny.
to fucking work for that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
Not
just
from
get it.
height.
No, but I'm stretched out. It's like when you take it.
I'm
you
the
know,
height
long-
that you're claiming that you are, and I'm not jacked.
Well, I'd be like more like. You
No,
know?
you wouldn't.
like what's that? No, but I'm sure if I was tinier, I'd work out.
No.
No.
Why? Why would that change?
Well, I don't know. Maybe 'cause I couldn't reach stuff, I'd be pissed off, and I would like. I don't know.
Yeah, because muscle makes you reach taller.
I don't know. Maybe 'cause I don't know how muscles work.
No, yeah, no
Yeah,
shit.
apparently.
You're, no
Obviously.
shit.
Obviously.
We've
Can
seen
you
you
gain
lift.
muscles like under above your elbow to make your arms longer?
Yeah,
We've seen you lift,
Yeah.
dude. Believe me,
Okay.
it's.
Nah,
it's
I don't want to do
laughable.
this show anymore.
You know, I'm with Dynamo now. I hate you.
Can we go home? To be fair, I ride home with you every night. You hate him anyway.
Every night?
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Every damn night.
Every
Yeah.
day. On the telephone?
What that boy mean on the telephone?
All right, let's get through this review so I can go home and be angry now.
Oh, Marty's going to be hanging.
I was
Home
gonna
and be angry.
Whatever. What are you going to do? Edit me out, Johnny Wolf and Bully?
Maybe I will.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe I'll edit for the first time in 6 years.
Right.
Happy anniversary.
Can't get your plane out.
Yeah, so,
Bill, is this awkward? Is this like having like your parents argue?
Could you guys stop fighting? Stop yelling.
Can't we all just get along?
I don't like it when you guys yell at each other.
Wow, it's like Miss Elizabeth. Don't fight your friends.
I'll tell you what. I'll send Monte Zero to your show for a couple weeks and see how you like it.
Nope. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, you won't just go
Hey,
up
I
anyway.
only go first class, so you better put some money behind it.
Right.
The dog
How
is
do
scared.
You don't even know how nice my house is. You've never come here.
Right.
It's a very nice house.
Yeah.
All right, here's a question. If you had to put up with one of us for 3 weeks, which one?
Raven Shadow.
Yeah, my boy.
Come on.
Come
Come on.
Without even any
What can he
thought.
possibly?
I love you, Bill.
Wait.
Bill. What could he possibly
Wait, he
supply
said that.
for you?
He said that because Raven Shadow will show up once every 6 months.
Right.
Sure.
No, I've been to lots of the wrestling events.
No.
How many? One.
Two.
Oh, two.
Two. He's
Okay.
been to two.
Yeah.
He comes. Raven Shadow is definitely in for Royal Rumble every year.
Yes.
Right.
I'll wait till this year, Bill. We're
So-
gonna fucking knock them all dead. You don't even know what I'm gonna do.
So Humble Eddie says, in the end, I'm glad Demonwarp won. I found it to be nothing short of plentiful patch of pleasure.
What movie did he watch?
Draw that picture, Raven.
What?
J.
Yeah. What?
And
What?
and Jeremy McFarland says, "Oh, MZ looks good. I wear shit like that after work all the time. It's called comfort, brother."
That's right.
Yeah, but you're not on
Yeah,
the
but
second.
everyone else is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm hot like a motherfucker. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that much.
Motherfucker, I'm comfortable when I get out of the shower, but I put clothes on if someone's coming in the house.
Right. Or when you're on video. Yeah.
I got
Well, Eric,
clothes on.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here looking at side boob all night long.
Don't look at it.
I can't help it. It's
There's
fucking
nothing there.
Everywhere.
Now Wolfie's anti-Mars now. I can see the way this goes.
I'm not
This
anti-Mars.
trajectory. Yeah.
I'm anti. Well, I was gonna say anti everyone, but no, I'm pro everyone.
Right. Great.
I'm with you, Maz. I'm all sleeves.
Yeah.
I don't like tank tops. I just don't wear them.
I will do the
I mean,
sleeveless tee,
I mean,
but I will not do
Jeremy wears them when he gets home from work, but he doesn't wear them on the fucking video show.
That's true.
Bill,
Yeah.
Bill, you can rock a sleeveless anytime, man. I've seen
Oh,
you.
dude, you gotta rock the sleeveless. It's the tank top that's the issue.
Right.
No, motherfucking sleeves. Wear fucking sleeves.
Dude, when you get tattoos like me, you gotta show that shit off.
Oh, baby. You know what? I'm all against tattoos too, so you're not gonna buy me my my loyalty there.
But we both have nice beards.
All right, so we've been doing the show almost 2 hours, so maybe we should talk about this movie.
That's Q Buster.
Oh yeah, but
Let's
only
keep
maybe.
Buster.
So, the listener pick for the 6-year anniversary, Demonwarp. This film was directed by Emmett Alston. It is 91 minutes. Is a horror mystery sci-fi. Came out in 1988, and it is written by Bruce Akiyama, Jim Burkis, and with the original story by John Carl Buechler. You see that, MZ?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I caught that.
Yeah, and he also did obviously did some of the special effects as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was obvious.
What are you saying?
I'm saying let's review this film.
And Emmett Alston, we talked about him fairly recently, but he also directed New Year's Evil, Three-Way Weekend.
Which is outrageous because New Year's Evil is so fucking dry.
It's good though.
It's fine.
I like New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I don't
It's
dislike
okay.
it, but it's
okay.
dry.
I mean, it. You know, he matured 8 years from New Year's Evil to make Demonwarp. So take that for what you will.
Yeah. He also did 9 Deaths of the Ninja and Little Ninjas.
9 Deaths is good. That's one of the Shogazuki ones.
Yeah. And he was originally supposedly going to do Enter the Dragon. He was one of the guys, and then
I thought it was Enter the Ninja. I thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Maybe
It
I
was
read that
Enter the
wrong then.
Ninja
Okay,
with,
okay. Are you sure about that?
Franco Nero.
All right, okay. I thought I
Yeah.
read Enter the Dragon, but you could be right. So, yeah, so he's done a pretty interesting mix of flicks, and this is certainly this is definitely in the interesting mix for sure. And the film stars George Kennedy, David Michael O'Neill, Pamela Gilbert, Billy Jane, otherwise known as Billy Jacoby, and Hank Stratton, Colleen McDermott, Michelle Bauer,
Yeah.
Shannon Kennedy, and John Durbin. And the synopsis: a man and his daughter are attacked in the woods by what they believe is a Bigfoot-type creature. However, they soon begin to suspect that they may have stumbled onto a nest of aliens in a hidden spacecraft.
Yes, by soon you mean
80 minutes
92
into
minutes.
the movie. Yeah, so it definitely sets you up a little weird because the synopsis makes you think like, oh, I thought it was going to be Bigfoot and then this alien thing, but really it was kind of the opposite. But
well, luckily the story was very clearly told and laid out for everyone to understand. So.
Yes. So Demonwarp, 1988. I know you had seen this prior, Bill. Has anyone in this room had seen this prior to this viewing?
No.
I had seen this years ago.
Oh, you had?
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
Did you rent it or was it on something?
Or were you on
I don't
something?
remember.
We did it on OTC probably like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I thought that you guys might have.
Yeah.
So, this is certainly one of those. This is definitely cult cinema. Like, this is the kind of... It's never...
That's cult.
Yeah. It's never been released on anything beyond VHS. So, this is one of those ones you have to search a little bit for if you want a physical copy, but it is available fairly readily, digitally. So, once again, it sort of fits into what we're saying, is that for a cult film like this, years ago, you would have a hell of a time finding this. Nowadays, in the internet age, it's pretty easy to come by. So,
if you know where to look.
Yeah. So now this film, Raven Shadow nominated it. It was selected by our boy Carlitos, but it was also mentioned a couple times by First Time Mike. So this is a film that's been talked about for maybe the last 10, 20 episodes or so. It's been brought up a couple times. So it seemed like a good selection to do.
But
this.
I cheated to get it on.
Ooh. Settle down, Putin.
Now, forgive me because I didn't keep track of who nominated what and who voted for what, but you nominated this?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because we've been talking about it so much.
Why?
Because we've been talking about it a lot.
So there was no other reason than you heard the name.
Should I get a lawyer?
Why are you grilling him, Aries?
Frank Grillo.
It's a very odd and obscure movie.
Most of them were, except for The Gray.
Granted, because I nominated The Gray because that was the one fucking movie that the name I recognized.
I wish The Gray got put on. Now I would have stayed home.
And fuck off. And after watching this, I realized that I watched this.
Don't look at me, monkey.
Years ago, and I realized I had one or two reasons why I had watched this years ago. One, George Kennedy.
Yeah.
Or the guy from
the brother from just one of the guys.
Just one of the guys.
The brother.
One of those two faces
Well,
made
Skippy
me
was in it too.
Rent this movie. What?
Skippy was in it too, right? Skippy from
Family Ties?
No, he's not.
That's not him?
Mark Price.
Right.
No.
I marked out hard when the fucking brother.
He's in Trick or Treat.
Oh, right, you're right.
Or Trick or Treats.
No, one of those two guys made me watch this movie years ago. I don't remember which one because I was halfway through this movie. I'm like, this seems very familiar to me.
Okay.
And I realized that I had watched something about this box. So probably it was George Kennedy made me rent this movie.
You're a big George Kennedy fan?
Yeah.
It was familiar. Come on, something about a box made you pick the video back in the day.
Well, something about a box made me do a lot of things back in the day.
Yeah. And George Kennedy's face taking up 2/3 of the box. This is the motherfucker from Police Squad. I'm going to rent this shit.
Was that the...
this shit's going to be funny.
You can relate it to Creepshow, too.
Yeah.
Was that the red box? Do you remember? Was it the red box? Like there was...
I'm only guessing by what the images I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that was available for VHS, if I'm not mistaken.
He was in a lot of stuff, right? He was...
And this is before Naked Gun, right? This is probably a year before 89.
This is 88.
And then Naked Gun was 89, I think.
And then Naked Gun was the same year, so I don't know if he did this before or after.
I'm guessing before. They couldn't have afforded him after.
But no, I mean, to answer your question, no, we had talked about it first time, Mike. I thought Dynamo might have posted it or just the idea of it. But I mean, that box art is something that would have been rented back in the day.
For sure.
And
I love the poster that I have up here. That wasn't the box art. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if it's a theatrical poster, but that one is so much cooler than the one with George Kennedy's face all over.
Oh, that poster, the one on your showing now.
Yeah,
we would have rented that.
The
first.
one on the
George
feed.
Kennedy was a busy dude in 1988.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah.
Are you shitting on George Kennedy?
Just before dawn.
No, not at all.
No. I'm talking to Johnny. He
Am
just
I?
can't. He just can't see me glaring at him.
I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying I like this poster better.
Oh, okay.
You're fucking wrong, Johnny. Let me tell you why you're
Jesus.
wrong. Because George fucking Kennedy's the best.
In 1988 alone, he did a TV movie called What Price Victory, something called Born to Race, Counterforce, Demonwarp, Private
Yeah.
Road, No Trespassing, Death Street USA, Top Line, Uninvited, and The Naked Gun, all in 1981.
Whoa.
Wow.
What year was just before Dawn?
That was like 1981.
Was it that early?
Yeah, that was early 80s.
Because he looks fucking exactly the same.
I know.
Well, he did Creepshow 2 in 87, and then he was also in Kenny Rogers' The Gambler Part 3.
Yes.
Oh, and Delta Force was 86.
Oh, it was Delta Force.
I can't make
Yeah.
That was
That's
my
my
joint.
jam.
Oh man, he was a busy dude in '88. So I have to say, this movie started. Put it on. First thing you see, Vidmark logo.
Yep.
Fist pump.
Yep.
Yep.
Fucking
yeah.
got excited for
All
that.
day.
Yeah.
All fucking day.
Yeah. That was that. That put me in the headspace. That got me in the mood. I was ready. And the copy that we saw clearly, because it's never been released on DVD, was VHS.
Right.
So you had that old, kind of grainy, really bad-looking copy.
Static lines and
Yeah, it just
Tracking adjusted at the beginning of it and stuff.
it was really dark. Yeah.
This one, I always talk about how surprised I am that the Spookies hasn't got a proper
Yeah.
Blu-ray release, but this one has Vinegar Syndrome written all over it.
Oh yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it though?
We should make a recommendation to them if they don't already have it in the,
Yeah, the thing.
coming down the pike. But yeah, this is definitely one of those really interesting sort of curiosities. It just the synopsis alone makes it sound fucking like batshit crazy, like you have to see it. Now, it's going to be difficult for any movie to live up to that synopsis. And, I guess we'll find out as we start talking about it whether this one did or not. But it had enough callbacks to the 80s to hit that nostalgia, angle right away. Trivial Pursuit, right? George Kennedy's playing fucking
You mean,
Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit,
yeah.
foreshadowing edition.
Foreshadowing edition, yes, exactly, yeah.
Which, I mean, we're not gonna really fuck around with like worrying about spoilers.
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
How dare you.
They spoil it in the fucking synopsis.
All right, fair.
Yeah, right.
Then I will want to say I'm gonna pull fucking Atomic Dog for only the 5 people in this room, but I fucking called it.
Called it. What'd you call?
What the fucking asshole Sasquatch?
oh, who it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
a 30-year-old movie you predicted?
I did. I'm like,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Bravo.
I bet you're right.
Oh,
Play
wait.
my music.
Oh, I got to get the movie on in studio here. What
Yeah,
am I
what the
doing?
fuck?
Yeah, what am I thinking? All right,
I'm watching Demons instead.
You know what? I'm looking at. I was looking at the trivia portion in,
Of course you were.
in IMDb of Demonwarp, and one
Yeah.
thing they don't mention is that this is this. And I thought it looked familiar. This is the same house that they filmed Friday the 13th, the final chapter in.
Oh, I thought it looked familiar. It's
Oh.
interesting.
Would you look at that?
It's funny how different they made the terrain look.
Yeah. It did look slightly familiar to me though. Like that's why at first I'd wondered if I'd actually seen the movie, and I was like, maybe it just looks familiar. But yeah, that's crazy. So there's that scene. Let me jump ahead here. I want to get to this.
Did that house not actually have 2 floors?
I imagine it does that. It has a because if it was filmed there once before,
Well, I feel like this house only had 1 floor. That's why I was-
maybe
Yeah.
maybe.
All right, I gotta play this fucking. I'm gonna play the audio because this is fucking
Jesus.
hilarious.
So basically, George Kennedy's playing with his daughter.
They're playing Trivial Pursuit.
Pursuit.
Is that you, Nordberg?
He hears something. He goes up to the door.
Hey, Frank.
Did you hear that? All of a sudden, Bigfoot crashes through the fucking door.
Like the fucking Kool-Aid Man.
But they film it so poorly, it just looks like an ape.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here to pick up your daughter.
And George Kennedy is like coming to, but he's like, oh, he can't help her. Yes, Aries?
No, I'm just,
You're just
yeah.
watching.
It's just that, no, I can't help you. No, fuck off, you did.
Oh shit!
What do you guys think the budget was for fly fishing hats in this?
Oh, I know, right?
$4.35.
You know what I
Bucket
loved?
Bucket Hat Central.
You know what I love? I love that the this Bigfoot creature, which I mean we're supposed to assume is a Bigfoot creature, and he takes such small strides. He takes strides shorter than an average human.
It's
funny
it's
as
not
hell.
big stride. It's big foot.
Right. And you realize it's just a guy in a suit, right? Like, he's probably restricted by with the midsection is. Or do you think this is real?
I'm really sorry, Zero, they didn't
I
get into the
think
details.
I think it's
right.
I think it's funny.
So, yeah, like that scene where Bigfoot breaks into the fucking house is something special.
It's
like
it's something, all right. I don't know if I call it special.
That's one way of putting it.
I would call it special. And then we get Billy Jacoby or Jacoby, I don't know, Jacoby, I guess. And that he was in like so many 80s movies that were fucking great, like Just One of the Guys you mentioned and some others.
Yeah, that friggin' asshole brother in that. So
Wait.
Yeah.
He was in an episode of Golden Girls.
Yeah. Golden Girls, Just One of the Guys.
Of course you knew that.
I want someone else to name something else.
Him making a list, he'll go for fucking 10 years.
No, they
wasn't he
can't.
he was in Cujo, wasn't he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cujo.
You're right.
Everyone's missing his big break that like he actually had something that lasted.
A TV show?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a TV show. Shit. I
Erie,
remember
Indiana?
Misfits of Science.
Who are we talking about?
Billy Jacoby. I remember the show, and I just can't think of the fucking name of it.
Marcus Lewis Can't Lose.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's right.
it
Who was he in
literally
that?
was
Who was
on the
he-
tip of my tongue.
Who was he in that?
He was like the friend.
Brother.
Yeah.
He wasn't Parker Lewis, but he was the
Yeah.
next guy.
Corin Nemec was Parker Lewis.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Billy Jacoby, I think, was his brother.
What is
No,
the-
he was like the best friend. I don't know if he. No, I don't think it was the brother.
Oh, I think
He
it's the best.
He had to
friend.
have been older.
Best friend.
What is going on in this Raven J?
It's the
That's some fan fiction right there.
Oh,
That's my next tattoo.
this is some posing.
That's Aries being jacked and me
Jesus.
being short and cut.
Oh yeah.
If you're both short, right?
Yeah.
Aries,
love
you are jacked.
I love the fact that he had to have the two girls pose with him, and then they left, and then the guy comes in.
That's special.
Oh, that's a good one, Raven J.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, what was? Oh crap! I missed it.
Oh, you missed it. We're looking at it here,
Oh motherfucker!
right there.
Nikolai Volkov and
He was also in. Wasn't he also in Billy Jacoby? Wasn't he also in like Deathstalker 2 or something like that? Well, he was in.
a ton of shows. Like he was like guest star on like every TV show from the 80s.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah.
rocking out. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in like a sword and sorcery flick from the early '80s. I can't remember what it
Not
was.
Deathstalker 2, I don't think. I just watched that.
Can't remember the name.
Unless he wasn't Deathstalker.
I don't think so.
So the rest of the people in that, like, it was like literally Deathstalker and a bunch of women.
What? No, wasn't he on another 80s show for like a season where he like? Hang on, let me think. What was the Rick Schroeder show?
Oh yeah, no, he
Silver
was
Spoons?
he was on
yeah.
Silver Spoons for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe even borderline double digits.
I'm sure he was like on a bunch of the sitcoms like back in those days. He bounced around.
I know now he's like he shows up in a lot of stuff now.
Let me
Like-
guess, Law and Order.
Yeah, like CSI and like Law and Order and like.
That's like
Everyone has done Law and Order. Like,
Haven. For,
I'm on next
yeah.
week.
yeah.
You are next week.
I played a dead body on last week's episode.
He's great.
So, just to set the scene, if you guys haven't seen this movie, so George Kennedy, the scene with him, Bigfoot breaks in, takes his daughter, and then all of a sudden there's like a passage of time, which they don't even mention. And then all of a sudden we have a car full of what I assume are teenagers who are going up to the cabin to hang out.
I'd say 20-somethings.
20-somethings.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be 20-somethings.
Okay, so they're heading up to the cabin, and they're going to spend a weekend there. But there's some nefarious plans going on because I can't remember his
Jack.
Jack, yeah. So he basically takes them up there to
It's under the guise of a trip, but there's these woods have a nefarious reputation. It's called Demon Woods.
Yeah.
And so, but he has the hidden agenda where he wants to utilize his friends to help him on a quest to find his uncle, who's the house that it belongs to.
Jesus Christ! How many times you watched
Jesus.
that?
No, right?
Right?
That was probably
That
the
was
most
impressive.
intelligent.
That was
Yeah.
spot on.
That was impressive.
Not at all.
Damn, that's
Wow. We should,
Yeah.
we should let you nominate more movies.
See, I'm smart, not like everybody says.
I'm scared.
Wow.
Please continue.
Yeah, please. The floor is yours, Raven Chatham.
Yeah, you know, so...
Damn it.
That's everything he had.
Yeah,
That's it.
all right.
He's got nothing left in the tank.
some really good fucking nudity.
Yeah. Let me give you your notepad back.
There was some really, like, lingering, almost awkward nudity. There was, like, soft core.
Nah, there was awesome nudity.
not softcore.
Nah, there was some fine nudity.
No, well, I mean, there was the two in the cabin, which
Yeah, that lingered for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that was just like, okay, she's
You want
showering, she's
one more
having
minute.
sex, whatever. But then there was the one that's just out in the middle of the woods, like, oh, I guess we're just here.
Let's
take our shirts off.
Michelle Bauer, sir.
I mean,
don't
but
fucking...
I mean that was like
Michelle Bauer,
for
man.
better or worse. That was like the amount of like I actually just watched another documentary where they were kind of breaking this down, and this is like a step above the budget of the films that they were talking about, but I'm sure it's applicable. Like more than anything, like in 80s VHS distribution, like your amount of like nudity could help get distribution, because like a lot of these places that were like setting these distribution deals up, even giving them to the labels, like it's a different ball game. Like they weren't like the people who were giving money for these movies to happen weren't always like film producers or like in the way we know them today. They were like 7 Italian guys who also owned a deli in New York.
Oh yeah, I mean, you had to break it down. We have 37 seconds of breast nudity in this movie.
But it was all the prerequisite stuff. It was the the sex scene nudity.
It's
the
crossing off all the fucking
the shower scene.
Yeah.
And then
And
the
the
outdoors for no
campers.
reason.
It's-
yeah,
it's
The camping out.
As the documentary I watched was called, it's
And the sacrificial nudity.
blood, boobs, and beasts.
yeah.
But it's not gonna keep, like, I was jaded. Like, okay, if I get a woman out in the middle of the woods and there's nothing going on, she's gonna take her shirt off.
And if she's Michelle Bauer too, like I feel
Like,
like
it just
that's a prerequisite.
Yeah, it
though.
helped. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get for a movie like this, you got to get a name B actress that's willing to get naked, regardless.
okay. Name
And Michelle Bauer is definitely one of them.
name a
What-
B
yeah, but
movie
if she
actress
got-
that wasn't willing to take her top off.
I can't.
You can't.
Well, I mean,
But-
I guess it depends on what you're talking about, like a B movie actress, because there was a lot of actresses like that who were kind of B movie actresses and would have been forever if somebody like Steven Spielberg hadn't cast them. And
But
stuff
well,
like
at the point where they were B actresses, if you handed them enough money, their top was coming off.
well, Dee Wallace
did-
kept her shirt on and everything.
Yeah,
and
she never did any
Yeah.
nudity. Yeah. Which is good for her, I mean, what the hell?
Because I mean, granted, she did a lot of B movies, but I wouldn't classify her as a B movie actress.
Well, now we're just picking and
Yeah,
choosing
we're
versus our
arguing
point.
semantics. Yeah, but okay, argument for a different show.
Did in Valley Girl
Valley Girl's not a
did
B
Daly
movie.
there get did
E.G. Daly?
Yeah, did she get
Yeah,
nude?
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
she would have been who I would have thought of because I couldn't think of anything.
That was a
she
surprise. I think we're talking about the girl who.
She was in Rock and Roll High School, and
If
oh
she
no,
saw-
and she was also in what did I just watch with her in there the other day? I was surprised.
She was the friend that slept with the dude.
The friend that slept with the dude.
Why I watched that like for the first time like last year.
Valley Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it kind of it's not like it was like Valley Girl was like
In heavy rotation.
yeah, like it.
But that really.
Now I mean, like if
Back in the day, though, I knew of it. I know that I saw the box art, but I never. If I may have seen parts of it, but yeah, I saw it for the first time. Last year.
If you had said like I've seen it 20 years ago and I don't remember it, I'd be okay with that.
Apparently, I'm now Aries hates me now.
Yes!
Apparently.
Fucking Valley Girl, really?
Well, I mean, like,
Have you seen Taxi Driver?
yeah.
unfortunately,
Bobby De Niro.
Bobby De Niro.
Bobby De Niro.
Bobby D was in Valley Girl. I watched that motherfucking shit out of that.
Oh my
So George Kennedy disappears for a little while.
Right, save us, John. Is Bill still here?
Sorry.
Yeah, Bill's still here. He's
Yeah, I was actually going through Michelle Bauer's IMDb and looking at the funny names of all the characters she's played. For example, Third Pony Girl. Dancer/Ninja Girl.
Hey, and who could
Wait,
play better
what
than
was that one?
That was Cave Girl.
Cave Girl.
Oh, no,
Oh,
sorry,
yeah, I
that
saw
was Screen Test. Cave Girl, she was Locker Room Student. Tomboy in 85, she was Woman in Corvette. Let's see, Electric Stewardess, Photographer. Two that she doesn't even have a name. Mistress Jane Fonda. My personal favorite, Nazi Woman.
Yes.
wow.
Well, you know, she had to rise up from her porn beginnings back in the early '80s and play characters without any names until she rose up to the prominence of actually playing characters that have proper names.
Yeah, like Nymphette.
Yeah, exactly
Or-
like that.
Or Groupie. Or I will close it on Country Club Girl.
Yeah, you should see. Yeah, you should see her stuff. It was pretty good.
You have it on DVD?
She went by the name of Pia Snow back in the day.
P.S.
You're
Snow?
a sick
Pia
You
Snow.
are a sick fuck.
Thank you.
Why don't you have your own like old school like porn podcast?
The Porncast.
The Porncast, yeah.
He does. He just doesn't talk about it.
If you do it, I'll guest star. We can get Axel Braun.
Oh, you guys are.
It's called Getting Randy with Rich.
One Dark Night. That was the movie I watched recently that she was in. That I didn't know she was in.
Really?
Yeah.
MZ's Porncast. All right. So
To George Kennedy.
George Kennedy. So he comes back, and there's this like I fucking love this line. I don't know if we can find it in here, but he says, "This place is dangerous, and so am I."
Well, fucking, even that. When
In his overalls and Becca Cat.
Yeah.
they show up at the cabin, and I'm like, it's the same fucking cabin. They're like, hey, there's no door here. It's fucking smashed open.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's the signs of a struggle.
Yeah, you don't need a key because there's no door.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should go.
And I love so then we have Bigfoot breaks back into the house.
Yep.
And starts terrorizing the 20-somethings, the co-eds, sure. And and this is after, of course, it's after a prank. They try to pull a prank on one of the characters.
The classic, we'll bring a haunted mask to the fucking event.
Oh yeah, that almost mimics the monster that
Right,
we're gonna
right,
deal with.
Yeah. So
How ironic, right?
Yeah. So was it Fred was the one I think that
It's Fred.
yeah. So he put the mask on, went outside, knocked on the window of his girlfriend just getting out of the shower, of course topless, and then he comes back inside, and then he encounters Bigfoot, and there he's like knocking on the door, "Let me in. There's a creature out here. Let me in."
Well, did anyone catch how quickly, like,
How quickly she turned and went for
Yeah.
Billy Jacoby.
I mean, she's Billy fucking Jacoby.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
but I wouldn't kick him out of bed for eating crackers.
She went for pretty much any dude who like was mean to her.
The it's gonna bother me. What's her name from Rock and Roll High School? Did get naked in Halloween.
PJ Souls.
PJ
Yeah.
Souls.
Souls.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of PJ Souls. I was thinking of the other girl who was in the other 80s movies.
Wow. Can you be a little bit more specific?
The other girl,
Well, if you saw that, I mean,
Elizabeth Daly.
I don't know. Aries is the fucking Valley Girl fucking expert.
Elizabeth Daly was in Valley Girl in
Yep.
Streets of Fire.
Yeah, she has
And
like brown
the-
hair.
No, she
Blonde.
She
Blonde,
played.
yeah.
She played the baby in Rugrats too.
Okay, she wasn't Valley Girl, but she was Valley Girl's friend.
No, she was the kind of she was the one with the braces, the kind of airheady friend. She wore leopard underwear in the slumber party.
Yes.
That will stay with me for my whole entire life.
Oh man.
This is a current picture for
was
here.
that?
Here, there. there's-
Yeah.
She's
it's
so
her.
adorable.
Yeah, she was so. I was so
she was
surprised.
Dottie.
Dottie, yes.
Yeah, Dottie. Yeah.
Yeah, Dottie. Yeah.
Daddy.
Oh, she's a smoke show. Yeah. That's her now.
I guess so.
Can we get how old is she? Can we get her on the show?
I don't know.
She was at.
Jesus.
Come on. I want to take her to the Survival of the Film Freaks premiere.
I was gonna say a second ago, Monster I was sorry I hit you,
Oh, don't worry about it.
but
My
that I
skin can
but I
take it.
wouldn't be telling the truth. I actually wish that me or your parents or somebody hit you,
Wow.
so that you would like.
There it is. There's
Pay
the,
attention.
It makes you get dark.
Oh,
Better
she
Off
was
Dead.
in
She was in Better Off Dead.
yeah. Better Off dead.
That's from Streets of Fire, I think, right?
No, that's
No,
Better
no,
Off
no,
Dead.
Better
no,
Off
no,
Dead.
yeah.
There we go. This
She was the band at the dance.
Better Off
Oh,
dead.
right,
than
right,
live
right,
without
yes.
you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there
She
we
was
go.
sang the
also
song.
in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, we said that while you were out of the
Oh,
room.
I'm sorry.
you were,
I was
you were-
tinkling.
and in 31 and Devil's Rejects.
I think she played like a synth, like
Devil's Rejects.
because everybody's in a band in she's an aspiring musician in Streets of Fire too.
Yeah, she's awesome, and she does a ton of voices now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she did like Powerpuff
Powerpuff
Girls
Girls.
and Rugrats and
No shit.
tons of stuff.
To
yeah.
see her now, you wouldn't recognize her.
Are you kidding? I think she looks exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah.
I just saw her last year
Not
at Rhode Island
exactly,
Comic Con.
but-
No, she's cute as hell. I saw her at Chiller back in 2004. I mean, she was cute then.
No, I'd say back in the day she was cute. Now she's beautiful.
Nah, she's
Oh,
still
look
got
at
a
her.
cute. She's still cute.
No,
We're arguing cute and beautiful.
she's very
that's two different things.
she's very small.
Aries, you're
She
beautiful.
Yeah.
She-
Raven,
she's
Raven
like-
Shadow's
she's like
cute.
4
Thank you.
feet.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm ruggedly handsome.
Ridiculously short.
Nicholas just posted a fact, and it says that George Kennedy was paid $15,000 for his work in this film.
Jesus Christ.
It's got to be it. So
Yeah, it was cash, and he was there for 3 days, right?
here's
Probably.
my
Yeah.
question, and maybe Bill knows this because I don't know this. I was thinking of it today. George Kennedy now is like star power. Like if I see George Kennedy, like I'm excited.
Isn't he
about
dead?
It. Well, no. But if I see, George Kennedy's in Demonwarp, like that's exciting to me. Like, was George Kennedy star power in 1988?
He was apparently $15,000 star quality.
No, you know what though? I think '88 was kind of like I think he had a decent amount of like work in the earlier '80s because he was in like in like the late '70s. He was in like Airport and like some of those disaster movies. But then I feel like mid '80s, like probably like '88 when he did Naked Gun and Delta Forces, those were both huge hits. Like it kind of revitalized
Yeah.
who he was.
And you know, for getting paid $15,000 for this picture, you know, for probably a few days worth of work, I'm sure like he had a busy '88. He probably made a pretty good chunk of change in that year. So,
Probably, yeah.
oh my God, MZ, what
Jesus
the fuck?
Christ!
You're a fucking pervert.
What?
What? He's like licking his lips and like,
And yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Knock it off.
looking back at Raven Shadow and then back at the screen.
When was the last time you saw boobs?
About 5 seconds ago.
No, I mean real boobs.
Before you walked in this building.
And I don't mean looking in the mirror either.
I see him. Been seeing him all fucking night
Yeah,
long.
he's looking at him right
Or
now.
in
Oh
high
my
schools.
God, you have to think.
Does
You do live with a girl, right?
Does she change in a different part of the house?
How about this movie?
So things escalate quickly.
You realize?
Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going because we're only talking about this movie for an hour. So Bigfoot comes back, terrorizes the fucking co-eds, and then Billy Jacoby dies, gets his neck broken, which I was really sad about.
Yeah.
And then one of them goes missing, who is later found. That was Fred or something. It was a Fred.
It was Fred.
It might have been Daphne or Wilma. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or Barney.
But then there's that moment that the asshole Sasquatch and Jack share.
Yeah, here we go. Now here.
The
Did you guys-
moment.
Yeah, did you see that? When I mean,
Yeah.
he's fucking point blank range.
Oh, when he almost she's gonna shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a moment. You're right. Why didn't he shoot him, Raven Shadow?
Well, because like I knew that they had to be the fucking.
Did he know though?
I think he saw there was a connection. He saw it in the eyes, to the eyes of the windows to the soul.
He made some reference to it.
He looked familiar to him. But it was enough where even in a B movie, you gotta shoot someone fucking point blank range.
You got to.
You gotta fucking do it.
And an argument could be made as to why he didn't fire a shot.
Because he saw his uncle's eyes.
No,
in
no,
the
no,
Sasquatch.
no, no, no.
He's a bad
Because
shot.
that monster posed no immediate threat to the living beings in that building.
He killed.
He kills.
No,
Billy
Skippy.
Jacoby.
He yes, but that person was dead. And
After
he
he killed
was,
him.
Yes.
He's
After he
already
killed him.
dead. He's already dead.
He is. He's
If
already
someone
dead.
kills you, I'm
He-
going to kill them. Like
No.
What? I'm not.
If,
Wolf Cop.
if there's four other people waiting, well, hoping to survive, if the monster flees, there's no reason to provoke it.
Aries, are you fucking
It's
insane?
not a
What are you talking
bumblebee.
about?
insane.
The
For
monster
Christ's
just
sake.
killed your fucking friend.
Yes.
It's not
No
a
more drinks
bumblebee,
for
for
you.
God's
Are you
sakes.
not
It's a
gonna-
goddamn
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
If you saw the monster kill MZ, are you just gonna let it fucking stand there and do nothing?
If MZ's dead,
Yes. Yes,
and that
I am.
monster, if MZ's
would.
dead and that monster is not actively going to attack someone else, I'm going to wait.
If I see the monster kill MZ, I'm gonna wait and see if he takes out Raven Shadow.
No, I
But
am going
then-
to wait until it makes
If
a
he
move
kills
to someone
Ares
else.
or Johnny, depending on the night, I'm gonna kill that monster.
Wait,
No,
Ares,
If it kills my
you're
friend.
going to wait to see if it attacks someone else or it flees.
But I'm not gonna
because
let
if
it go
it
away.
flees,
Why?
if it flees, then there's
You're
no
a-
reason.
You're a terrible.
Yeah, but then
monster.
you
the
have to
hell?
worry. Then you have to worry about it.
Horrible herb human being. you
No,
know?
I am not. You're already dead.
Oh, so I can't talk?
So
Yes.
it can't.
Lay on the floor.
I have no say in any of this.
Wait, Aries. A couple of shows back, aren't you the one that in the whole thing where if we had to pick who had to die, and you were like, you'd pick yourself
Yes.
to save all of us?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you'd let the remaining 4 of us die. 'cause
No,
the rogue
yeah.
Sasquatch in the woods.
Because the Sasquatch isn't attacking anyone yet.
Yeah,
gonna
but it
come
just
back.
killed someone.
just
But
killed
that
someone.
person is dead.
But it can come back and kill you the next day.
Bill, is Chris sick of
I
doing
will
the show
deal with
yet?
that the next day.
'Cause I'm ready.
Yeah, but
Immediate-
you have a point blank. You have a point blank, and you're fucking.
What-
dying.
He already shot it 3 times.
Pull away from the mic.
Pull away from the mic.
When
ready.
you yell,
He already shot it 3 times.
Get
It
excited,
didn't
John.
die. He shot it 3 times.
You're insane.
He
This is
shot
like
it
a
3 times. It
renaissance.
didn't die. Anyone argue that point with me?
You're a horrible human
Aries,
being.
you're
He
That's
shot
fucking
it 3
crazy.
times. It didn't die.
Yeah, but he's fucking right the
He
fuck.
shot it 3 times. It didn't die.
Jesus Christ!
So,
I gotta
so
turn
you
your
call it
fucking mic
50,
all the
so
way
you
down.
call it 50 Cent and call it a day.
Is anyone going to argue that point?
I don't.
Did he
I don't
not
want
shoot
Aries
it?
back with having my back.
Yeah,
I know.
could.
Did
Yeah,
he not
I know.
shoot it?
Yeah, but not well. he
If
put it in
if we
flesh
ever
wound.
plan on going camping with Aries, I say no.
I always
Shot
thought
it. It didn't die.
I always thought you were the Murtaugh to my Riggs, but now I'm not. So
No.
Yeah,
He shot it. It didn't
You
die.
fucking
What is he going
You
to
fucking
do?
betrayed us,
Yeah,
Aries.
man.
What the fuck?
You know what? Fuck up. This movie is not holding true.
This
It's
is
because he's a
unbelievable. This is
Yeti.
revealing.
He's a Yeti, and he doesn't want to kill a Yeti.
One.
He got hurt.
All right, so you
Are
shot
we at
him.
that point? Yeah,
Wow.
we're
I
at
don't
that
like
point.
when you guys fight.
Hold on, let's
Scaring
break,
the dog.
Wait, he's gonna kill Billy Jacoby right
let's
now.
break this down.
He already shot the,
The
monster.
Sasquatch comes in.
He already shot the monster 3 times.
Monster Zero's dead. There's maple syrup all over the floor.
Monster
Right.
Zero. This is Monster Zero getting choked out. Right now, Monster Zero's getting choked out.
Was it
So-
something I said?
Well,
Here I am.
Arrivederci, douche.
I'm coming too. Here I am, holding the gun. Monster Zero twitching.
That's me in the
kill.
corner.
You're yelling, kill him, right, Raven Shadow?
Yeah,
like, kill
Raven
him,
Shadow,
Aaron.
yo,
Oh wait,
kill
he
him.
looks in the eyes. He
Good
looks.
God of
Look at
war.
that.
Looks at,
There's
the
a
monster
connection.
is not posing an immediate threat towards anyone else in the
And
room.
I'm like, why the fuck aren't you killing him, Aries?
It's a
Yeah.
fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's a fucking
No,
Sasquatch.
no immediate threat to anyone in the room.
Stealing shit and
You
killing
should
us.
just shoot him just based on the fact that he killed somebody.
I already put 3 rounds in him. He didn't die.
You don't want to get revenge. You don't
already,
care.
I already put 3 rounds in him. He didn't die.
So maybe you didn't. Maybe you're a shitty shot.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
your
I
gun.
am.
Maybe your gun sucks.
And you know what, Aries? This is the 6-year anniversary. You should empty that fucking clip.
no, I am going to hold those bullets.
And what, throw him?
Wow.
No,
Wow.
and wait because you know what? I was correct because the monster.
How do you know
fled.
Bigfoot organs aren't in a different place and you just didn't hit anything important?
I don't know where those important organs are.
That's
So
why
you know what you
he's
do.
gonna-
You know what you do.
he's
You
gonna
act like
Google
you
it.
act like an adversary is Superman, and you
monster
throw the
fled.
gun at him.
That's
The
why you
monster
got.
fled. Everyone that was alive is still alive.
But don't you have 20 bullets in that gun or something? Like, to keep trying.
Yeah, it's a 45. You get what? At least like 11 shots, right? 9 shots. You
Look-
could have ran to his head, his Sasquatch dome.
Right.
Let me catch up on the chat room because I haven't been acknowledging.
I'm
there's
so
a
upset.
lot. There's a lot of talk. I
I'm
am too.
so upset
I am
right
too.
now.
I'm really upset. I need to read the chat room to make me feel
Fuck
better.
off.
So Jeremy McFarland says, "I saw boobs 3 hours ago." Congratulations.
Now we know where he's at.
Corey says, "Laugh my ass off. Everybody got to die." And then Humble Eddie says, "Didn't they kill the Bigfoot with a headshot?" Later on.
Yeah.
That goes along with my inconsistency.
Yeah, you are.
You are very inconsistent.
No, not me. The movie. Very inconsistent where they can take out these monsters with one shot.
And
I'll tell you, you just did something I didn't know you could do.
What?
Betray
backpedal?
us all?
Say
Go ahead.
inconsistent with an SH.
Oh,
Inconsistent.
let me beat you with my full, empty bottle.
Are you threatening me with death?
I can't believe any of you are trying to make any sense of this movie.
The
I'm trying my best, but they're fighting against me.
Just had is if you watch this movie, it doesn't fucking matter because there's just they throw everything at the fucking wall in the third act, and it's like none of it matters anyway.
And none of it really makes any sense.
I'm trying to get there, but they won't let me.
That's part of the fun of it. That's part of the fun of it. That really none of it is coherent or makes any sense.
Really? So you guys are lashing out at me on this fucking part of the movie then?
Well, I don't know if I want you to have my back now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You
I'm
kind
kinda
of like the
scared.
go-to
Yeah.
for
You
that
know
kind
what?
of stuff.
Do you really want me to protect your corpse over someone's living body?
If you were the one holding the gun, which you probably would, because I think everyone could agree.
Yeah, fair.
We'll let you fire the gun.
Yeah,
Before
let the guy
this
who drinks the
movie-
whiskey carry the gun.
Before this movie, everyone would have handed me the gun. But
Right. And we had established that MZ was the one who had his neck broken.
Right. Sorry about that.
Great.
Sorry. Raven Shadow is the woman in the corner screaming, "Shoot him!"
I don't know if there's a woman behind me in the corner. And that's
And I was probably the
You have the
guy.
hair, kind of.
you're fair.
I was probably who am I? Am I George Kennedy or am I the guy with the gorilla mask?
I don't want you to
No,
die,
the
Johnny.
gorilla no, you're the... Holy crap. No, you're the other guy.
And who's Mars?
He's George Kennedy.
He's
Oh,
George
okay. Yeah, he is. Okay. So MZ just died.
Yeah.
You have Bigfoot dead to rights. You could kill him, but you're not gonna because he doesn't.
Because all I know is I've put 3 rounds in him and he hasn't died.
Well, and he stole some shit. Well, pick up a truck.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about the electronics. The motherfucker can have my DVD player.
he's a
What if it was whiskey?
He's gonna fucking fence that shit.
Remember
Well,
when
make
you
sure
said
you
the
take the
show
porn out first.
wasn't better when it was just me and you? I'm just saying.
The Bigfoot black market. He's gonna sell that shit.
He can have my DVD player. Don't touch
Did
my
he go in the
Jameson.
was that cabin in the future? He has a DVD player.
VHS play.
Oh, I'm sorry, 88. He can have my Betamax.
My heart is broken.
Yeah,
right
me
now.
too. Wow.
Yeah.
This is quite a revelation. Took us 6 years
My
to get
only-
here, but
The motherfucker. One person in that room died. The person who was dead before I had the gun.
So wait a second.
I got the easy way out. I don't have to deal with any of this shit.
If
well,
I
you come back later.
if I kill Monster Zero right now, you won't kill me.
Do you pose a threat towards Johnny and Raven Shadow?
Just tell me what the parameters are for you to kill me.
Do you
That's all I'm
pose a
asking.
threat towards Johnny
Yeah,
and Raven
I'm
Shadow?
gonna fucking swing this Dr Pepper bottle around violently.
Wow.
Wow,
How's Buck
this,
doing, Bill?
This is
How's the dog? Do you take him out?
how's Bark?
If somebody killed Bill, I fucking shoot him. That's for sure. Bigfoot,
Dog is sound asleep.
Bigfoot,
Nice.
the Loch Ness monster. Anybody did, I'd fucking shoot him if they hurt my Bill.
So now they're on a quest to find a way out.
Right. So now they are on a quest. So
Here's my question: the one thing I didn't understand. Why didn't they just walk the way that they drove? Like I feel like they
I
went
was
the other
thinking
way
that
into
too.
the woods.
Well,
They couldn't have drove that way because there's a fucking giant cliff. So they went in opposite direction that they drove.
a road through the woods will probably wind up a cliff rather than a straight line that would be the direct route out.
But they came.
They ended up going to a cliff anyway.
Well, they
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
they were assuming that they could walk a straight line out, which would be the.
I don't think Aries could walk a straight line.
I've
out right
often
now.
assumed I can walk a straight
Yeah,
line.
oh, yeah,
I'm
no,
fucking
no.
fine. I'm fucking fine.
Yeah, I was at a weird level with this bottle, and yeah, I chose poorly.
Very special.
Give us your keys, Aries. You're staying here. There's a futon in the other room.
I hate this show. Chromecast pickup.
So they're fully armed, except the one girl has the knife, so she's fucking ready.
A little itty bitty knife.
A
Yeah.
little itty bitty knife. Did they come across George Kennedy, who's been hiding out?
Well, later on they do. They have to avoid bear traps, and so all of a sudden we're like a good halfway through this movie right now, I think. And then all of a sudden they're introducing new characters that like don't have any bearing.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
almost
plot.
like the prologue characters that die in a typical slasher before you meet
Yeah.
the other
Yeah, right,
characters.
right.
Are like,
The random bird watcher. I love
Yeah.
that guy.
So not that I'm expecting a cohesive plot in a film that has Bigfoots and aliens, but it was.
But not demons.
Yeah, but it was really fucking weird to switch from this core group to these new characters who
Pot
just
of girls?
That mean absolutely that have absolutely no bearing on,
Right.
on
well, the
plot
problem
at all.
is that they have bearing. That's what
the only
except
yeah,
for the
well,
fact that they
it's-
could expand on the runtime.
well,
and
it's for
have
it's
more
for
depth.
it's for Bigfoot mayhem.
Well, the
Yeah.
only
And
plot
nudity.
the only plot device that it did have is that for whatever reason, I guess you could have used the redheadish girl, but for whatever reason they, I feel like the only purpose she served is that they needed another girl to sacrifice at the end.
Right.
So,
You could have had one of the established girls.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
but then you would have
But
had to
then
just
you
kill
need
her.
a larger body count,
I,
though.
I feel that the
You need a larger
introduction-
body count.
The introduction of the other girls was to have a different set of bare breasts.
Yep.
And to establish the trip lines for the dynamite.
Well, George Kennedy did that. They could have.
He talked about it, and the party leaving the cabin came upon the bear traps. But they didn't come upon the trip lines. It was only the topless girl
Yeah.
who came upon the trip line.
I love that George Kennedy finds a watch and just wears it. Like, they're like, "Where'd you get that watch? Where'd you get that watch? You killed our friend." I found it at the camp.
The most.
It was outside my tent.
Yeah, it was a really nice watch.
I was thinking today that
I think
the
it had a
most
calculator on it.
sane,
$15,000.
yeah, the most sane like George Kennedy ever played in a movie. I was thinking was Just Before Dawn, but then I remembered that he fucking talked to the plants all the time,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
they were people.
Yeah.
Like he's all. I think he's just like a Busey. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
just
played
fucking
some
crazy.
pretty batshit crazy roles.
So then about halfway through the movie, or maybe even a little bit more, we all of a sudden we see just a zombie wandering through the woods.
which was awesome.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? We saw Bigfoot and then now a zombie. Okay. All right. I can get with that. And then like this, for me, this movie hit a real lull. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely was like, what the fuck?
they're just wandering around the woods. And then like around the 70-minute mark, there's 20 minutes left in the movie. It really picks up.
And it's all in the daytime at this point on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all fucking.
I actually
Well,
kind of
it's
like.
cheaper to shoot in the day.
I also
Oh, yeah,
kind of
so,
like
yeah.
that though. Like it was just a little different.
Fair.
It did seem
Makes
a
it
little
kinda
weird
creepier.
to see Bigfoot walking around during the day.
So I
Makes it
thought
kind of
was-
creepier,
Well,
too,
it-
that he has the brazenness to go out and kill during the course of the
Or
day.
steal.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
concerns me. Like, what kind of rabid animal does it hunts in the
Steal and
daytime?
kidnap.
Well, no, I mean,
But it wasn't
he
Bigfoot.
stole at night.
He gets a plus 10
Yeah, that's
to
true. He had
to
the,
stealth. at
The big
night.
scary monster lift shit at midnight.
I'm so upset right now.
I was having trouble as to what the criteria was to.
Oh, my
what,
fuck.
What makes a Bigfoot? What
What-
makes a zombie?
What makes a Sasquatch? Is a Sasquatch a Bigfoot?
For the love
And
of
who
God.
and what makes a werewolf? There was a werewolf.
Was there where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Johnny,
missed
you
that.
have to have something heavy back there. It's just a mic stand. Think about how much easier your life will be.
You have a mic stand right there.
Yeah, but I can't kill
pretty
myself with it.
Oh.
I can't figure out the leverage.
Go ahead, take a swing at me a day or two.
Well, I'm not. I don't want to kill you. I want to kill me.
Oh, trust me.
All right, I'm gonna jump ahead here to the last.
Now you made me shit my pants. I guess was a fear.
Because I think we're winding down. So here we go. We got some
All right,
zombies.
now we got some
wandering.
zombies.
That's a nice mask.
Oh, God.
I'm still missing the werewolf.
It was the dude, Fred or whatever.
No,
he
was
started
ju-
to grow.
He was
hair.
becoming a Bigfoot,
He's
though.
becoming a big.
Those are
okay.
some pretty gnarly
You know what?
masks,
Like
like straight out of Swamp Thing or something.
You know what? It was half transition, and I don't know why I just thought werewolf.
I
He was
assume
half
werewolf.
transition.
You were
yeah.
just hoping there was one more monster to
Yeah, why not?
convolute
Right?
everything.
Yeah, aliens. Zombies,
And on that phase, I have
Bigfoot.
to remind you that's why we all fucked up by not watching the Spookies, because there's about 100 different monsters in the Spookies.
I think we could have made it a lot easier if we just concentrated on wolves
No,
and done with the gray.
because of the gray and because of there'll never be a listener pick again. 'cause I'm alive.
Look at this dude. One of the zombies is wearing a Resident.
You hear that,
t-shirt.
listeners?
I was-
Yeah.
I was trying to think what band was that.
The Residents.
Residents.
What were they?
They were the Residents.
No, okay, so okay, fine.
The Resident Eyeball is the Misfit shirt for spooky kids, as the River said on more than one occasion.
Nice.
He just starts fucking
Creepy
punching them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I said that, listeners. I don't trust you anymore. There's been a breach of trust.
Oh, that's how it always goes.
Right.
Oh shit.
Do you remember we used to do listener appreciation months?
Right.
No more.
And then you stopped appreciating?
Yeah.
We appreciate them.
No. It's like when Marvel Comics would ask every couple of years what you guys wanted to see, and they'd always say Howard the Duck and Aquanauts. Micronauts.
What about Howard the Human?
No, maybe.
All right, so that's, I mean, and then we have this like minister guy. I don't know. That's what he's credited as.
I completely forgot about him.
Yeah,
Is he the demon?
I think
because this film is called Demonwarp, and there's no demons.
I think
no. Yeah, there's the demon with the phallic thing.
It's named after
the demon
woods.
with the giant dick.
Yeah.
That's the demon.
No, it's named after the woods. Demon Woods.
Fuck that. That's bullshit.
No, it's the demon with the giant dick.
Demon with the giant dick.
Yeah, I know what
that
you're talking
stabs
about.
people and turns them into big feet.
Big feet?
Big feet.
Is that the plural version?
Look at all them big feet running.
Look at all them big feet.
I feel like Aries all of a sudden is talking about his prom night.
And you gotta love this style of sacrifice where they have the girl lay down on the table, topless, not bottomless, of course. I guess there wasn't enough money in the budget for that.
Yeah, well, it's
Well, that gets a different rating.
Yeah, Merkins cost a lot.
What does he say here? Let's.
he's in a weird like glory hole dunk tank.
That's the name of my new band, Glory Hole Dunk Tank.
I love how the initial like stab is very, and then a couple little
couple extra little jabs.
extra little, you know.
Here was my takeaway from the scene. You have zombie and Sasquatch making technology. You came there on a spaceship.
Look at her twitch.
And the only way you sacrifice is with a fucking knife.
I like when they're taking all the parts of like the Intellivisions and like ColecoVisions and
Yeah.
just like randomly carrying them around in circles.
This guy went out like a bitch, though, huh?
Yeah. It's a very leaky demon, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was the demon. Like, there, I don't know, like where the aliens come into play. I guess there's a
Is
space
he actually,
warp.
Is he from space or was he like hypnotized?
I assume.
I'm
Ohio.
gathering from space.
I assume so.
I feel like that alien's from space. That guy looks different. Like,
I think the giant demon
What
with
is
the giant
going
dick
on?
is the alien.
right, and then that guy is just in cahoots.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the preacher from the
Black
First
Lagoon.
scene.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause
preacher for the Black Lagoon.
preacher from the Black Lagoon.
Could be an episode title.
We should
What was
we should have watched the Spookies. Let's get down to business.
Oh, now like you want to watch the Spookies after
that
all
was
this.
my original vote.
What
You thinking about Desaad?
What did
Johnny?
you?
Yes,
your
yes,
final
yes.
vote.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
What was your final vote?
What do you mean?
You said your original vote.
Your final vote was.
What was your
this.
final vote?
This.
Then fuck off.
And I nominated Robo War.
Then fuck off.
Well, I'm not like you and you. I'm not gonna fucking jump on a fucking sinking ship.
You've been doing the
I
show for
didn't
6
jump on
years.
a sinking ship. My ship may have sunk, but it was floating when I jumped on.
You got
You sunk my battleship.
you guys could have combined the Wang Wang votes and the Gray votes, and it wouldn't have come close to Demon Warp in New York.
Then fuck off, because that's the ship you were on.
No, I wasn't on Wang Wang. I was on the Spookies.
No, that's you may have launched that one, but that wasn't the one you went down on.
I didn't. My friend Raven J did, and I didn't go down on anything. As an aside.
Oh,
Humble Eddie says that whole third act looked like it was shot on a Power Rangers set.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I agree.
Right? And
Even the outside looked like a Power Rangers set when they're
Yeah,
up on those
yeah.
rocks and stuff.
Jeremy McFarland says sexual diabetes makes a werewolf.
Yes.
And then he says Robo War would have been a blast.
Yep.
Yep.
This was a blast too, but as I was scanning over, I just remember how fucking awesome Spookies
you know
was.
what? Fuck off. You can't. No, you can't switch.
I did. I can do what I want.
Yeah, then I can tell you to fuck off.
Well, it's
and you're
true. It
walking
just won't
home.
matter.
All right.
I think that's safer anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
Is there anything else that anything ridiculous in this movie we have not mentioned yet that we want to get out before we?
I really felt bad that George Kennedy went out the way he did. I thought he was going to
Yeah,
be.
I thought that was.
Yeah, he went out. He went out pretty quick.
Did anyone else notice that at some point, like the violence quota like just all of a sudden like went up.
Yeah.
Like in the gore,
I
like
love
all of a
this.
sudden the gore was like this much, and like people were supposedly dying off screen and dying by getting choked. Then all of a sudden he's fucking pulling ladies' heads off and smashing elderly men's heads into
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah, ripping
just
hearts
fucking-
out.
Well, he just assaults the minister or whatever the fuck his name is, and
That's my ass.
Their gore budget definitely like was on an arc.
Yeah.
Because it went from a little trickle of blood to an eyeball to a head getting torn off
Squirting,
to
yeah.
just full.
And then there's that
zombies.
fucking guy that was getting fucking Bigfoot assaulted, and then on the top of that, for his troubles, you fucking put his arm in a bear trap.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
That
though.
was the brother. That was the brother, I think, of Michelle
no,
Bauer.
that was the bird watcher.
Oh, okay.
But that was all, like his arms moving and the bear trap isn't.
Yeah.
That was just so bad.
All right, Bill, is there anything else you want to say about this before we head to a verdict?
Click.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, see you guys. All right, let's hit the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time for Demonwarp. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Marsman.
Was really hoping when I started to hear about this movie that I'm going to say I really enjoyed this movie. Movie was in its own way, this was like an A experience for me. But I am always looking for that Neon Maniacs spookies.
Yeah.
Like something that like I always like as a kid wanted to see. Like when you would see monsters in a trailer when you were a kid and then see the movie, it would be like American Werewolf in London when they were just in a dream sequence or something like that. Like I always am like on a quest for the movie that has more monsters, that just gives you the fucking ultimate amount of bang for your buck. And, I think that my favorite parts of this were just the Sasquatch. Like everything else like was just fucking kind of extra. But I did enjoy this. Like, I mean, we again gave it more scrutiny than it probably needed or deserved. But I really enjoyed this. I'm just glad we didn't watch the fucking wolf punching movie of New York Ripper. Really, so I'd give it a treat even if I hated it for that. So,
all right, MZ.
This movie's a treat, but for so many silly reasons. The makeup is bad, the acting is bad, the sets are bad, everything is bad. But it's got a lot of heart, and it has George Kennedy in it, along with copious amounts of nudity and Michelle Bauer. And this is the kind of film that I would have rented back in 1988, on a Saturday night. I definitely would have rented this.
In fact, I'm surprised you hadn't.
No, I can honestly say I don't. If I did, I don't remember any of it. But this was a good time. Very reminiscent of, like I said, the films that I rented back then. And this is a treat. This is a good time. Very nostalgic.
what's going on?
All right, Aries.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, for whatever reason, I did watch this movie. I don't remember why. Something about the box caught my eye, and I did rent this and watch this. But nothing about this movie stuck in my head that made me remember until I was watching it again that I had watched this. But this movie is 1988 in a nutshell. If you just want a 1988 horror movie, it is what it is. Nothing spectacular about it. This is not going to go down in the record books as changing anything about horror or movies or anything, but it's enjoyable to watch. So check it out. A treat.
Raven Chatham.
Yeah, no, it definitely would have been something we would have rented back in the day. I would have liked to watch this with a group.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, this is definitely.
No,
a
I
party
definitely
movie.
I agree with you though.
This
You know
is
what I mean?
definitely
Like-
a party movie.
Yeah. But, hey, I kind of wanted to be a little more batshit crazy, I'll be honest with you. But overall, I did like it, and I'm very confused by the ending, which we're watching now. But no, yeah, what the fuck? It ain't Casablanca. Treat.
All right, how about you, Bill?
I'm going to kind of look at this two ways because it's a trick and it's a treat because this is the type of movie for me that, depending on my mood when I see it, I'm either going to love it and I'm going to eat it up, or I'm going to not be into it. And unfortunately, on this rewatch, I just gone through 8 giallos, so I needed a good movie, and this isn't a good movie. So it's funny because Ari said it's 88 in a nutshell, but if you look at the other horror movies that came out in 88, you had Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Child's Play, Hellraiser 2, Night of the Demons, They Live, Pumpkinhead, Serpent in the Rainbow, Monkey Shines, Maniac Cop, Return of the Living Dead, Sleepaway Camp 2, Phantasm 2, Damage, Dead Heat, Fright Night 2, Dead Ringers. This is pretty far down the fucking totem pole.
But you know what? I mean, you ring off those titles, and it falls in line with just shy of half of them.
But when Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers comes out, which of these two? What do you watch? Are you watching that, or are you watching this? You're going Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers every time.
All day.
So it's like, it's a nostalgia thing, yeah, but I mean, it's not a well-made movie. It's got that feel to it, but if you don't have that mood going at that time, you're not going to enjoy it.
But in '88, I'm not looking for a well-made movie.
You don't know what you're looking for in 1988.
Well, I mean, in '88, but looking back now, yeah, I'm just looking for a slasher movie with a little bit of boobies. And that's what this is.
I've actually never seen Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers without Rhonda Shear or Joe Bob Briggs interrupting in the middle on a station where they couldn't really Hollywood Chainsaw Hook on.
All right.
Not my fault.
Yeah. All right. And for me, I think this, I'll say it's a treat. It's better on paper than it is in practice.
Yes.
Like reading the synopsis and seeing the poster, it creates a vision of what this could be, and it's not quite that. But that is the 80s. That is that era. When you go back and you look at the box art, what you see on the box art is not what you see in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
So that is very reminiscent of that experience,
Yep.
which I, in a way I did appreciate, even though I wish it was more. So this movie was almost exactly what I expected it to be. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more of a nonsensical plot. It was pretty straightforward. The fact that there was like aliens just like 20 minutes, with 20 minutes left was a little like kind of out of left field, but not really. Like, so I guess I wanted something a little bit crazier. But, this was fun. It definitely harkened back to that experience of what Aries was talking about earlier. Going to the video store, looking through the boxes, picking out the best fucking box art you can, taking that home, renting it for $2, and you're stuck with it. That's the movie you're watching. And this didn't deliver on what I had expected based on the box art and based on the synopsis, but it gave me bits of that. And that's all you can expect. Back then, marketing a movie was way different than it is now. So it gave me that experience, and that's kind of what I was hoping for. So in a way, that's why I'm saying it's a treat. It's not a great movie, but it definitely gave me that experience. So if there's anyone out there that doesn't remember, that didn't live through that time of renting VHS and going out and picking out the movie you want, like, look at this one. Look at the fucking poster. Read the synopsis. Like, picture in your mind what it's going to be. Then watch it. Then be a little bit disappointed. And then be a little bit happy that they delivered on some of that. And you get a little bit of that experience. And that's kind of what it's all about. I guess it's actually a decent movie, given that we're talking a little bit about cult cinema with, having Bill on and talking about Survival of the Film Freaks. So, in a way, this is kind of like in that wheelhouse, right, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel this movie actually would pay off a little bit more if you didn't know anything about it. Like, you didn't know
sure
punchline. Like, you thought it was a Bigfoot. Like, you thought it was Bigfoot attacking a bunch of people. Yeah. And then there was a big twist at the end.
Yeah, and I agree. And back then, like I said, marketing was way different back then. So
I mean, great, big twist, little twist.
And you can see where, like, From Dusk Till Dawn stole from this,
What?
because it was a crime
All
movie.
right, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Yeah, they may have gotten the inkling
Was George
of the
Kennedy
idea.
in From Dusk Till Dawn too?
We're done. Here.
Tarantino couldn't afford it. No, I'm having fun with you.
You're funning us.
I'm funning with you.
So, all right, we're gonna wind this down. We're gonna take a break, and it is midnight, and we got some feedback. So I'm sure Bill wants to get the fuck out of here and go to bed.
Well, I was gonna say I want to step away for the feedback only because this is about you guys. This is your celebration, so you don't need me mucking it up.
Well,
We love you, Bill.
Well, first of all, you wouldn't muck anything up,
No.
but mostly, I just don't want you to have to sit through too many voicemails and then just hang out and So, Bill, if you would please once again tell folks about where they can find information about Survival of the Film Freaks, and so people can follow you.
Yeah, to follow us and keep up with the stuff on social media, at Film Freaks Movie on Instagram and Twitter. Kyle does a really good job, and occasionally I'll jump on there and do something too, but it's really Kyle that keeps up with that stuff. Go on Facebook, just search Survival of the Film Freaks. It should show up pretty easily. There's an IMDb page and stuff too. It's got all the information if you're looking for any more info on the cast or any of that stuff. We will be having a world premiere at the end of August. As soon as I can get the details out to everyone, I'll make sure the Trick or Treat guys know, and then it'll obviously be all over the internet. And we are confirmed to be part of the Shauna Shea Memorial Film Festival, October 4th, 5th, and 6th, if I get the dates right, and that is in Southwick, Massachusetts. That will be at most the New England premiere, at least the Massachusetts premiere.
And also, we didn't really talk about it all that much, but Bill also does a fucking awesome podcast, one of the longest running cult cinema, if not the longest running cult cinema podcast out there, Outside the Cinema. So tell folks about Outside the Cinema, Bill.
Weekly episodes, 10 years plus. We just released episode 546 earlier today. The final episode in our July-lo run. We did all Giallos for the entire month of July. And, there's not that many great ones. So, we put episodes out. Usually every Wednesday they go live. We used to broadcast live. We can't anymore just because of scheduling and stuff. But starting next week, we are starting our first, I don't know if I can say annual. I don't want to go that far. But Culto Augusto Mexicano y Spectacular. All Mexican cult films for the entire month of August.
Nice. And are you doing any? Do you know which ones you're doing yet?
Mostly, we're steering clear of all the Mexican wrestling movies because we've done so many of those with you guys. But I know we're doing like Museum of Horror and Dr. Satan, and then there's a couple that don't even have American titles or English titles. But they're all super rare ones.
Nice.
You can't really get them anywhere. I think only one of them has actually had a DVD release. So if you want to go to the OTC Facebook page, just go to facebook.outsidethecinema.com, and all that info will be there.
Awesome. So there it is. If you guys have not listened to Outside the Cinema, which I'm sure most of you, if you've listened to this show and heard Bill in the past, you probably have. But if not, give it a listen because those guys do an awesome job, and they are the best when it comes to cult cinema.
Yeah, it's
no doubt.
Yeah, like
I don't want to go that far.
I feel like there are a lot of shows that I listen to that their structure is the way the structure is because of Outside the Cinemas. Like, it's just undeniable. So
nobody would ever admit that, though.
and and we've said this before, but I think we're I don't know the best way to say it, but our shows like definitely are like live in the same sort of like genre. Like we, you guys do cult cinema. We do mostly sort of newer VOD-ish horror, but like our shows exist sort of on the same timeline, so to speak, where like you guys are hilarious and awesome, and it's just like a live off the cuff experience, and so in that sense maybe we're like spiritual like successors to one another, or sister shows, as I think Mars has mentioned in the past. So
I think what it is we all operate in that same mindset of not taking ourselves too seriously. That's the biggest thing, and that's my biggest turnoff with podcasts, especially ones that try to be like free flowing and like, we're having a good time, but like it's like super scripted and like they're trying so hard to say the right thing, and we like the cool movies, and it's if you like what you like and you just don't give a fuck. That's why our shows mesh so well together, and I think why we all get along so well.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. So, all right, with that being said, we will say goodbye to our good buddy Bill by Force. Everyone keep an eye out for Survival of the Film Freaks if it's coming to a festival near you. And obviously we'll keep everyone updated, whether it's going to be playing at festivals, if it's, eventually when you guys do get distribution, we'll certainly be hyping that up and talking more about that. But, there's still a little ways to go. You guys are just getting into film festivals now. So there'll be some more information down the road. And also keep an eye out for the original Survival of the Film Freaks. No, just kidding. So, all right, Bill. Thanks, man.
Congratulations again, guys. 6 years in podcasting is a very, very big deal. Don't take it lightly because, think about how many shows have come and gone in the time since you guys started. So
yeah.
It shows your dedication, your love for film, the fact that you can all still stand each other, mostly.
That's not true.
Barely.
And the emptiness
But
that is
it's
our
a big
lives.
deal. And, one thing that I've learned in the 10 years of doing this is that it's not about the size of the audience. It's not about the amount of downloads. It's about how much you enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you guys can continue to enjoy doing it, which I know you do, then the show's going to be awesome.
Well, we appreciate that, Bill, and we appreciate your support and your friendship throughout the years, and look forward to next time we get to hang out. Hopefully it's soon.
Nice. Balls on chin.
All right, Bill. Thanks so much, man. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. We're going to play some feedback, wrap things up. How long will it be, MZ?
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
All right, we're back at Trick or Treat Radio. Was playing some more music from Survival the Film Freaks there.
Raven Shadow had to go fix his hair.
And he's smoking. Oh, I didn't announce what we're going to do next week. So for next week, for episode 314, we're going to do a sequel to a movie we reviewed a couple years ago. You guys got any ideas?
No.
Someone actually mentioned it earlier. We're going to be doing another Wolf Cop.
Oh.
So Wolf Cop 2, another Wolf Cop. We're doing that next week. It just came out a few weeks ago. And I think the first one went over fairly well, so I figured it'd be fun to do the sequel.
All right. I wasn't here for 1. Do I need to watch 1 to watch 2?
I don't know. I haven't
You
seen
don't
2,
know?
so I assume that it'll lead into it, but it's not like, like it's a drunk cop who turns into a werewolf.
So I can probably just get away with watching 2.
Probably, but I don't know for sure.
I'll be the one voice that hasn't
There you
seen
go.
the first one.
Yep. Because did you watch that one, Raven Shadow? You watched Wolf Cop, right?
I had some similarities with the main character.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At that time.
What? A lot of hair?
Well, yeah.
Didn't we watch it? Didn't we go watch it in the theater?
No, we saw it at Rocket Shock.
All right.
You and I did. I don't think anyone else saw
Oh
it with
right,
us.
because somebody's. Oh no, that was Nightbreed. The great.
Oh,
the
he
great
got surly.
fucking Uno's like fucking controversy of Rocket Shock.
Yeah, that was the year we didn't go to
2016.
Uno's.
We did go to Uno's. We just didn't
After.
fucking go when you wanted to go.
Well, I was hungry and I was ready to go see. Ready for Uno's. I like the Uno's, my favorite pot for a while.
You wanted to get the table so you could brag.
Yeah. You know, I love Nightbreed. Don't get me wrong, but I just
Did you go sit at Uno's by yourself rather than watch?
No, he
Nightbreed?
he went home and pouted.
Yeah.
I had to go pow. I went to Fresh White Pizza. I got a grinder on the way home, and
You had your own fucking
my own little
pizza
party.
skins, little
You
pizza
know,
So
party.
Aries, there was like the area, like debut of Nightbreed, the director's cut.
The director's cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, last year, like, I ducked out on Uno's because it was stand around and wait for Uno's or go home. So I went home. But if it was Nightbreed,
Yeah.
I would wait and watch Nightbreed.
Right. And then also when we went to Uno's, like we just fucking all like 12 of us slid into a table with no problem, because nobody was there at that time.
All right.
When I mentioned that we were doing a sequel, Carlos said, Demonwarp 2?
Yes.
Raven Shadow,
Yes.
Jeremy McFarlane has a message. He says, Joanna says your hair is glorious.
Thank you, Joanna.
Don't fucking feed his ego.
No,
No.
listen, she's a very special lady, and I appreciate that, and you're awesome.
There's no account
And
for taste.
you've elevated J-Mac, and you're both tremendous people, so thank you both for existing.
Is that
For existing.
Is that your nurse? What the?
What?
Like what? What's wrong with her?
She's a very, very intelligent, beautiful lady. She made a pillow.
Yep.
She did, yeah. She made the
Yeah,
pillow.
we still got it.
Yeah.
She's easily one of the most beautiful women on earth, but maybe she needs a new prescription for her glasses.
I like my girls with little bad eyes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's obvious.
It helps.
Yeah.
I think all of our girls have bad eyes.
That's fair, yeah, that's fair, yeah.
All right, so
Yeah,
let's.
the Trick or Treat Radio vision plan is really not.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, let's get to some feedback because we got a fair amount here. So thank you to everyone who took the time to submit something. Let's see. If you guys have additional questions, I don't know if there's time because we got a lot of feedback. So, all right. Well, let's get to it, and let's hear from our boy, Arkham Josh. I don't know why it sounded like a pirate, but...
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. First off, calling in to say, hope you guys are having a great 6th year anniversary
nice.
show. That is
praising us.
amazing and fantastic. You know, I've been around for almost that entire time.
Yes,
so
you have.
It's kind of frightening to see how quickly this time has gone by.
I know, right?
But on to the show. Of course, I watched Demonwarp.
Yeah.
There's a classic of the VHS great bad movie rentals. And I mean, it's literally got a little bit of everything for everyone. I mean, there's Bigfoots, there's aliens, there's alien Bigfoots, there's zombies, there's a little bit of gore. It's, I don't know, it's just chock full of dumb fun. And so, I definitely have to give it a treat and a recommend. Also, to catch up on last week, I had seen the film in theaters, and I thought it was great. I did not get a chance to revisit it, so I was going to say that is also a treat and a recommend. But, yeah. Well, also, as far as the other films for the voting list for this week, I recommend that you guys just kind of try to keep that list and cycle them in throughout the next year, because there was a lot of fun movies on that list, and a lot of things that I think would make, interesting discussions. So, that's my recommendation. Again, happy 6-year anniversary, and, I hope you guys just keep on doing this for quite some time. All right? Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, Josh. We love you, buddy. And, it's definitely mutual, and very happy to have had you involved in the show to a great degree. In a way, OTC has their Reverend Scott. Now, granted, OTC also had Josh as well. But Josh has been a constant throughout the show. He's been on the show many times. He calls in, talks about the films that we review quite often. So, and he always has great insight, and he's just a great dude. So, we wouldn't know. I don't think we'd know Josh if it wasn't through podcasting. Is that right, Mars? Would we know Josh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. So,
I don't think we'd know him without OTC.
Yeah.
I think specifically.
Yep.
I don't know that.
I knew him before OTC.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, when
he must have come to your house one time.
Yeah,
over
he
at
knocked
Rock
on the
and
door
Shock.
and MZ was naked.
Yeah.
No, at Rock and Shock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Josh is a great dude, and hopefully we get to see you before then, Josh. But I know that we'll most likely see you at Rock and Shock. So, looking forward to that. Mars, I know we sort of talked about it earlier. This is the kickoff for the road to the Trick or Treat Radio Masquerade.
Yeah, and this is going to be perhaps the biggest year ever. We may not even be headlining. It's going to be so big. So, it's going to be a fun night. I have some tricks up my sleeve. Let's put it this way. I've got a full show right now, and I haven't even booked one of our perennial bands that kind of plays every year. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a good time. I'm really excited. Hopefully Tiny shows up. He's not making fucking skeletons. Fucking asshole.
Well, hopefully the maze will be done by then.
Yeah,
but he may have to work it, right?
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah,
great.
Okay, if you want me to build something, can I have more than a week's notice?
Yes, give Aries months.
I don't know. We would maybe more.
Maybe another skeleton.
We need like what we need. We can't have is we need the stage to go out more, and I can't figure out a way to make that happen.
I can't change the building.
Right. So yeah. So that's all. I don't know. I'll think about it.
I can go up. I can't go back.
It's true. I'm trying to get us a trumpet player, so we're crowded as it is. So.
All right. So thanks, Josh. Let's move on. And next, we're going to hear from Carlitos.
Carlitos.
We actually got two from Carlitos. Let's play the first one first.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos. Happy sexy 6th anniversary. Yeah. So, let me go ahead and get to the question here. It's actually directed towards Raven Shadow. Hey, bro. Where was your vote, man? Your buddy Mars and I had to help pick up the slack. I mean, Demonwarp was like a distant second.
Come on, let's hear it. What's your
behind
excuse?
the top film, which was New York Ripper.
There's nothing you can say that's
Which
not
would,
going to make
of
you
course,
look
would have been
worse.
fine, but
I would just say sorry.
You wanted to see you guys wanted to see Demonwarp and review it, and you didn't show up, bro. You let me down.
Go ahead. Tell him your phone.
What am I going to tell my daughter Asia that the banana fingers guy let her old man down?
You are hopeless.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, man. You did you did get it nominated and you did get on the list, so I'll cut you some slack.
No, cut
this
him any
time.
slack.
Let's not make this a new Raven Shadow thing where you don't do the votes.
Hopeless.
And like you weren't watching the
Hopeless,
movies.
it's true.
I watched the movie, Carlos.
I hate to agree with Monster Zero.
You're still my dog. Still all good. And anyway, you guys have a happy 6th anniversary show. Well, what's going on right now, I suppose. And I hope you guys enjoyed Demonwarp.
Yeah. I really like
so, and what's up, Bill by Force, if you're still there? I listen to your show too. It's great. So you guys have a good night. Thank you. Bye.
You do realize, I just want to put this out there. I didn't have the energy to before. You do realize your excuse for not voting is essentially the same as, like, I can't get to the studio because the Mass Pike is blocked.
Well, I mean, I could go another way around, but I mean, I only have one phone.
But you have a laptop.
You have a laptop, dude.
You have a laptop?
Yeah, you do realize the phone is the
why don't you go?
secondary access.
Do you
to
know?
it.
Wait. Do you know that you can actually log on to Facebook on your laptop?
I've never done that.
And you can go through the internet.
Fucking
And you can
God.
also get on it through the internet on your phone. You don't have to use the app.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Raven Shadow.
We already established there's no password.
Let's take a step back here.
My head hurts.
How would you, if you wanted to go to Facebook on a web browser? How do you think you'd do that?
Well, I'd type in like www.facebook.com, whatever the fuck. I'd go into Facebook and be like, bring you there.
Okay.
And it would give you the access stuff, right, to get in.
So what happens then?
Well, I don't know because I always go on my phone and I have to press the button and it comes on.
So you don't know your password is what you're saying?
No, I mean, you set me up.
Yeah.
And I know there's a thing where you can do like they send you the phone number and you get a call because I had to do that a couple times.
Yep.
But now look, it's right now. It's saying unfortunately Facebook has stopped. Press that button. Press the one with the F.
So
It did
essentially,
say
you're saying you logged on to Facebook the first time, and then haven't logged on again beyond your phone.
But now you're gonna get excited like, oh, I can find out, see what my friends are up to. Maybe I can vote.
Work for me.
Yeah, go log on to my page.
No, it's not. See now, look. See.
Oh, unfortunately, Facebook has stopped.
And then it had a thing where I had to go type in my get the number code, send to my number on my phone, and then it says you gotta like using something will if you don't have a high data plan, it will fuck your shit up.
Yeah, I'm going to assume you need to update Facebook.
It tells me.
No, I'm gonna guess because I
Update
remember
the
that was
phone.
the issue with Skype a long time ago.
Right.
I tried to update it, but it won't let me log on because it needs a password to get onto his Google.
Right, and he probably doesn't know his password.
Yeah,
Correct.
I didn't even bother asking.
You could have
Raven
just gone on
Shadow,
your
come
laptop.
You set all this stuff up for you,
Johnny.
but you don't know your own password.
I
How
never
do you
need
not
to
know your own password?
I think I know where it is. I mean, it's pretty much a certain.
And even
name.
if you don't know it, you can always have it reset.
Well,
But he doesn't know how to get into his email, I suspect.
I get my email. I can't go on my phone anymore. I can go. I can get my email on my laptop.
You can't call your phone?
No, I can't get into my email on my phone because it gets mad at me. Look.
What's your number?
7.
What's your phone number?
Fuck you. You know my phone number.
I don't know your phone number.
Yes, you do. You can't get on the air. People will fucking call.
Someone will
me.
call you? Maybe a girl will call you.
It's 508 61
555.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This is his number. I got it right here.
I am unbelievable.
His number is 1.
Don't say it, you idiot.
But no, but then, all right, listen. I know it doesn't sound good, but there was things beyond my control, Carlos.
No, nothing beyond your
Ineptitude.
control. No. Beyond
No,
your
listen.
capability.
Well,
Right.
I don't know. You know what? I mean, maybe just fucking. Why is everything gonna be a fucking password?
Hey,
it ain't fucking stock.
So I went to dinner with Tiny White's children the other day, and they took my phone and went on their own, like signed up for games and played games and like all this other
Well, what's
stuff.
their number?
You know what? Beyond that, I voted.
Yeah.
Well, I did it too. I fucking voted already.
Carlito says he has a laptop.
I do get a laptop.
Putting
I'm
your
right
phone
with
on
you.
your lap doesn't count.
I'm with you, man. I was surprised to find out he has a laptop too. You have a laptop.
Well,
you
that's
have
how we watch
access to
his-
Facebook
that-
on a laptop.
that's how we
but you
watch
don't
his
do it.
screeners.
Yeah. I work with computers, believe it or not.
You were given a gift.
Christ.
I know, but I don't know how to.
Yeah. All I can see. I don't know if you guys have seen. There's an episode of Flight of the Conchords where Maury keeps calling in the
the leggy blonde because he wants to see her because he doesn't know how to work his computer.
Yeah.
Like I see that. Like your IT person, Raven Shadow, must be like fucking pissed at you because you call him like 10 times a day.
Well, my IT person named Johnny Wolfenstein. Look, turn around.
Bright eyes, bright not a leggy blonde.
Now it's doing this now. Now, if I...
Oh, it's doing this.
What is that?
This is forgot password. If I forget my password, will it send me a new one?
Yes.
Yes.
And then can I change it?
Do you have
Yes.
access?
Yes.
Do you have access to that email?
But that's not going to help the fact that
Yeah, but
that
I think the
Facebook is shutting down.
you don't need a password for Facebook. You need to be able to update it. I think is the problem. For
Whatever
Google Play.
your Google
Somebody
Play
think-
account needs a password. Do you know what that password is?
That's what the issue was before because I remember your Skype wouldn't update and therefore you couldn't call. So we had to update Google Play.
I think his gray matter needs an update.
Because it sent me a text to my phone.
Yeah, but you don't need
Oh my
that. You're not
God.
understanding the fact that it's not that you can't get onto your Facebook. You're already getting onto your Facebook. It's not the password that's preventing you from getting on. You're getting on. It's that your Facebook is broken.
Yeah. But no, I can't even get on to... now it's
Facebook from 5 years ago.
Right.
Not 5 years ago. No, it's been happening for like about a year or so.
Right,
Yeah.
but the problem is that the technology of Facebook has gone past what that version is.
Why is it
It
slow
finally reached that
down,
point.
Facebook?
No, it's not slowing down.
All right.
So what? Now if I forget... All right. This
We'll
sucks.
do this off air.
You look like an old person.
You literally have...
Look at you looking down your glasses at your fucking
Yeah,
phone.
you literally have...
This is unbelievable.
I am unbelievable. I got medical problems.
You literally
I'm
have
actually surprised you're holding it that far away from
200
you.
comma
Yeah.
0.00000 amount of credibility right now.
Well, I guess. Well, you know what? You know what I would do? I'd fucking shoot a fucking Sasquatch. All right. I would fucking do my
All
best
right,
to protect you,
touche.
okay?
All
You're
right.
back in our good graces.
Right, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't fucking say, "Oh, he's fine."
No, he'd come over and
He
say...
doesn't prepare. He doesn't. He's not threatening to us. He does-
No.
To be fair, he'd probably come over with an empty gun and say that this thing's not shooting for some reason. He'd have to clip in one
He
hand
would
and
be
the gun in
shooting
another.
blanks.
He'd be like, I don't know what to do.
He would be shooting blanks.
No, I didn't have that.
All right, so let's play another voicemail. This is
Thanks, Carlos.
This is part 2 from Carlos.
Oh, good. Yeah, more fucking judgment.
Hey guys, real quick question for the show. Do you guys plan on doing a spoiler cast for the upcoming Halloween movie? That's it. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.
That's a weird thing because Denme asked me that today, actually.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's not that weird then.
Probably not. Well,
I would like to watch
because
it.
there's no Wookiees in it.
Well, we might not
well, the
watch
thing
it
is, I know all of these guys are not going to go watch it as soon as it comes out.
If we can arrange a showing.
What, just for us?
Yeah.
The fucking trick or treat.
I'm not talking about rent of goddamn theater. I'm
6
talking about
fucking
if-
years been doing this show. Let us in, motherfucker.
Yeah, how come Patsy's getting fucking credentials to things and we can't even see a movie?
If we talk about, like, you know what? I don't
Credentials
even
to
know when
what?
the movie's coming
To
out, but if we
Boston
say
Comic-Con.
on October 23rd, the 5 of us are going to meet at 6 p.m. and go watch the movie, I could maybe make that happen.
Yeah, can we do it at like 6 p.m., not fucking like 11 o'clock at fucking night? Like you guys
When have we
fucking-
ever gone and seen a movie at 11 o'clock at night?
All the time.
Never.
All the
Never.
time.
It's like
fucking-
9
okay.
at the latest.
Okay,
that's-
yeah, you're like talking like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Fair. Like,
Yeah.
How about like a nice 5:45
Because a lot of the
show
movies
or
we go
6?
see, Tiny goes and sees, and that dude gets up every day at 4 a.m., whether he's working or not. So
Let's take a day off.
I all days are days off. For me
Okay,
right
good.
now.
So we can go like a noontime matinee. Like
Well, I
fucking
hope
gentlemen.
I hope to have a job in October, but
Well, you know.
I'm sorry. I'm just not taking a day off to go see Halloween.
Right.
Well, I was just throwing that out there.
I know. I'm just.
But we don't have to take. Why do we have to take a day
Yeah, why
off?
do we
if
take a
plays
day off?
fun?
I'm not saying
fun.
take a day off. I'm just saying pick
This
a
isn't
fucking
this isn't
time.
Malcolm X, you know.
Pick a time,
does
a
that
date,
mean?
and maybe I can make it happen.
No, we can go for breakfast. That'd be nice, like
No,
gentlemen.
no, brunch.
No brunch. Yeah,
We can do
mimosas.
brunch.
Yeah, brunch.
MC,
I mean-
you're done with brunch?
Be
I mean-
nice.
I know brunch.
I think what Aries is trying to say is that 3 out of 5 of us would go see the fucking
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
if he had said. I would. I mean, even if it's on, it might take till after the first of the year, which will make it a little less fun for me. But like
First of the year.
well, because can I finish what I'm saying?
No.
Because I had hoped to maybe review it on the back end in the same way that we did like A Quiet Place or something or.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I'll go see it, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm not psyched. I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta go see the first showing of it. You know,
I'm
like,
not excited about that, but I would rather talk about Halloween than 99% of the movies that we watched
NZ
this
wouldn't
year.
want to talk about Halloween. He fucking hates the Halloween franchise.
Here's my
Except
take
for
on
3.
it. I would like, not necessarily Halloween, but any movie, to go see it in the theater as a group.
Yeah.
And discuss
We
it.
used to do that.
We
we
used
didn't.
to.
We didn't do an official like discussion, but we would talk about it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, but we did it for the Rob Zombie movie. There.
The last one I remember was the remake of
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Well, no, we did.
Well, that was before we did the podcast.
Yeah.
No. Evil Dead remake came out in 2013.
Did it? Okay, I thought. Well, it was. That's why I'm getting confused because we did a CryptoCast.
We did it on the CryptoCast.
It was a CryptoCast as
those
well.
those did overlap a little bit, but not much. So that's what confused
We
me.
did, but after that, we did the Rob Zombie Lords of Salem.
Yeah.
We had Jay on and stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, we've done some. And
I would like to do something like that again. Yeah. Maybe I'm being selfish.
No,
Fuck
I mean,
me
I would.
then.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean,
as long as everyone can agree to go to a showing, because it's typically difficult to get everyone to go.
Sit down. Let's not get excited here.
Because I saw like 5 movies in the theater this year, low budget horror movies that were better than almost everything that we've done for the show.
Like what?
Well,
we've seen some good movies this year.
We ended up doing. No, we really haven't seen that many good movies.
Yeah, we have.
I don't think so.
I disagree.
Demonwarp.
That's going to be your fucking number one, isn't it, Raven Shadow?
But
I like I like the Devil's Doorway. I like
Low
the
Life.
Endless. I like Cold Skin.
Low Life.
What was Cold
I like
Skin?
Revenge. That was the one with the fucking mer people.
Yeah.
Cold
On
Skin
the
was
island.
fine. Low Life is the only one I loved so far.
Nicole Kidman,
Revenge
handjob.
we liked.
That movie sucked. Not Revenge.
You liked Revenge.
No, I didn't say Revenge. I was talking about the Nicole Kidman.
I Killed Giants was good.
That was fine.
You liked Terrifier. It was okay for
Yeah,
me.
it was fine.
Low Life was awesome.
Low Life's the only one I loved. Low Life is the only one that would have made my top 5 3 years ago. when we
Psychopaths
watched
had some good
movies.
moments.
No.
Pie Whack, it was okay.
Mediocre.
Shape of Water was fucking amazing.
No. Shape
No?
of Water was fine. I didn't even love Shape of Water.
The Ritual was good.
It's good.
I don't remember The Ritual even.
There was
The
the one in the
camping.
woods.
Yeah, that was fine. Here's the
I'm
thing.
gonna start taking notes of what you. Because
Happy Death Day.
well, you're like backpedaling like
Why?
left and right here.
It was it's been good. And there's a lot of other good ones coming up.
I think that it's been a pretty like bottom, like I think that it's been a pretty like 12 like 10 through 13 year. Like I don't think there's been very many top 5 quality movies yet this year.
Just wait till we watch Mandy.
Low Life, and that's it. Low Life's the only thing that I can guarantee would be in my top. Like
Yeah, but if even if the rest of the movies are shit for the rest of the year, some of those movies, some of those movies are going to have to crack your top 5,
Right, 'cause
No matter
they
how
suck.
bad, no matter how low on the scale. they
actually,
might
that's
be
not
for
true because I vowed last year that I wouldn't do what I did last year and just settle.
All right, well, let's keep going because we got more voicemail.
Upgrade in real life would make my top 5. And that was great.
Okay, next voicemail.
Jeremy says Revenge isn't a horror flick; it's more of a revenge flick. Well, we're just talking about movies that we reviewed. So that was
What
one of
am
the
I
ones we did.
backpedaling about?
All right, let's hear from our boy Evil Corny.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Evil Corny. I want to wish you all a happy 6th anniversary to Trick or Treat Radio. I've been enjoying the show for the last 3 or 4 years since I've been listening. Slagoff originally told me to start listening to you all, and he pretty much bugged the fuck out of me until I listened to you all, and then he bugged the fuck out of me until I start calling in and going on the chat weekly, and I really appreciate him for introducing me to you all.
Me too.
I hope you all have many more years. And also, I really liked where I was able to coin the phrase "pimp up promotions" for
He
the
did too.
ever-growing
He did
growing
too.
list of titles for Raven Shadow.
Thank you,
even though
EC.
some of those are going to his head.
Hey,
Y'all
some
have a
of
good
them-
one. Evil Corny out.
about all of them.
There's no question, Evil Corny. You let me down.
Thank you, Corny.
You fucked me in public, Evil Corny.
Whoa!
I love that dude.
Well, thank you, Corny, and we're so glad that you've been aboard for the last several years. You're such an awesome dude.
Yeah.
You're the best,
And,
Corny.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, man. Everything you do, you're such a good dude. Thank you.
Very nice man. I just wish you had a question instead of a bunch of ball washing.
All right. Well, next is First Time Mike, who is responsible for basically introducing Demonwarp to the show. You know, and then obviously Carlos had recommended it, but it was FTM that mentioned it first. So let's hear from our boy FTM.
Happy anniversary, Trick or Treat Radio. This is your friend First Time Mike wishing you all the best on this 6th anniversary of podcast excellence. This culturally advanced. Oh wait, no, this is Trick or Treat Radio we're talking about.
Yes.
And you guys watch Demonwarp. I enjoyed this movie far more than I should. It's just a great. If Dynamo a while ago called Spookies like a D&D adventures with people you don't really like, pretty much Demonwarp is like, hey, I got classic Dungeons and Dragons, I got some Gamma World, the post-apocalyptic.
Right.
Let's just throw everything together as it goes on. This is what you're fighting by the end of it. It starts out as a Bigfoot movie, and it gets crazier and crazier. It's as if somebody was smoking when they wrote the quote-unquote script and just said, well, add this in and add this in, and they pretty much filmed everything. I enjoyed the special effects by, I think, Gabe Bartalos, and you can very much tell his style of monster because all of them have a similar design. It's fun, it's bloody, there's some really disturbing scenes, and the characters, while not likable, are kind of interesting, and it's a treat. I really enjoyed it. Hello, Bill, if you're still there. I am eagerly awaiting Survival of the Film Freaks, and because I'm a lover of the B-movie, low-budget genre, and I'm really interested in a documentary about the distribution, past, present, and future, and I'm eagerly awaiting and seeing you, a bunch of you guys, as some interviewees. I love you guys. You guys are great.
Aw, man.
And I'm honored that you guys let me ramble on at the end, towards the end of every episode in the voicemail, and I'm honored to be, part of this. My question for you tonight is...
Thank you.
Before we get to the question, I just want to say thank you, First Time Mike. And I think he's been on board for the last couple years, 2-3 years, and every single time I look, like when I see that email come in, usually it's on a Wednesday when I'm on my way to the studio or later in the day, it just brings a smile to my face because I know that he's going to bring something fucking awesome. And First Time Mike is a fountain of knowledge. Like, he knows so much about film, about obscure film, about awesome film, and it's just it's a pleasure for us to hear from him all the time. And yeah, like, and he coined the term. I mean, I think other people had said it, but he was the one who really drove home the trick or treat family, like, and talking about that. And it's I think it's like it's dysfunctional, sure. But I think it's,
what family isn't?
Right. But I think that there is some truth to that, and I think it's really awesome. And I'm so glad that you've been a part of this First Time, Mike. And I always look forward to hearing from you all the time. So let's continue on with First Time Mike's question.
Low budget movies, as you guys watch or anything, I give you maybe less than $1 million. What kind of movie would you make? Would it be a tribute to anything? Would it be an adaptation or some idea that you always wanted to get out? It could be, or a sequel to any movie. Just, I give you $1 million to make a movie. What would you make? This is your friend First Time Mike from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wishing you guys all the best. Take care of yourselves. Wish you congratulations on your 6th anniversary. Goodbye. Bye.
Thanks, First Time Mike. And so the question, if he gives us $1 million to make a movie, what would we make? Anyone have an answer off top?
I'd make a low-budget vigilante movie, but not like a Death Wish, like a Batman vigilante movie, so, like a Faust.
Sort of, yeah. So sort of like a vigilante, not quite superhero.
Yeah, like a masked Avenger movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd make the original Survival of the Film Freaks. I'd take the idea from I take the idea from Reverend Scott and make it on my own.
I want to do a baseball comedy.
Baseball comedy.
Called Foul Balls.
With a Z?
Yeah. It's urban. No, I like baseball comedies. And no one said that.
You're not a real big fan of baseball. I mean, you like it, but you know,
I mean, I don't watch it
fan.
like I did back in the day. But
right.
I still, I still it's my favorite sport. And I love fucking Major League.
And what else?
And Major League 2.
You can't name another comedy baseball movie, can you?
I don't know, the one that I'm too old
Bad
for.
News Bears.
Bad News Bears, yeah. The Sandlot.
You're never too old for Sandlot.
The Sandlot.
I missed the Sandlot. I think I don't even really seen it.
The Sandlot is the
You never
best.
seen it?
What, you've
I've
never seen The
parts of it.
Sandlot?
Yeah, it was.
Sandlot's incredible.
You know what?
Get the fuck out of this room.
You know what?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
man.
I have an admission too. I've never seen it, and
Yeah.
you guys know me. I'm an
Jesus.
enormous baseball
You'd
fan.
The
love it.
Sandlot is like the best baseball movie ever.
I don't
It
care
is
about
so
baseball.
good.
Better than The Natural.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
really
Oh,
like The
far
Natural.
better.
Well, it's not a
Far
comedy.
No.
The Natural's fucking awesome.
I
The
hate
Natural is
Natural.
good. The Natural is really,
fucking
really
awesome.
good. Sandlot is awesome.
It's more Robert Redford.
And I also have
mediocrity.
never seen Moneyball.
Moneyball's good.
I've read
I think,
Moneyball.
I think I think Moneyball is better than The Natural.
Moneyball's okay. Yeah.
I've read Moneyball. I just haven't.
I would
I know
agree
the
that
movie.
Moneyball's better than The Natural too.
All right. Well, I'll have to check
Well,
it out.
it's not apples to apples.
So Raven Shadow, foul balls. Okay.
Yeah, I just have the opening scene. That's all I got.
Aries, do you have something in mind?
I'd probably go along lines of something of the like Demon Knight, bunch of
All right.
teens trapped, trying to escape type
What?
of idea.
Demonwarp?
No, Demon Knight.
No, Demon Knight.
Like Demon Knight with teens, you're saying.
What?
So I
Because
have.
Demon Knight was all grown ass
Yeah.
people.
We saw it in theaters.
Maybe I mean they were portraying teens.
No, they were all old.
Yeah, John was
J-
right on this one.
Jada Pinkett Smith was in it, and the
fucking
not the Tales from the Crypt Demon. What the fuck?
What
movie
other
am I
Demon
thinking
Knight?
what
Wait,
Demon
what?
Knight
Yeah.
was talking
of?
about.
No. What the fuck movie am I thinking of then?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Fright Night.
No.
Night Riders?
Oh well, fuck me then, because I'm not gonna waste time thinking of it.
All right.
Moving on.
So you'd make a movie.
Teens trapped in a house, can't get out. Monsters killing them.
Good.
All right.
There you go.
I have a film script that I wrote that my hard drive died literally the day after I wrote it. I still do have the first 32 pages somewhere, but that's probably what I would do, and I think I could make it for $1 million. However, I'm gonna go with something else. Maybe this is a little pandering, I don't know, but if I was given the money, I'm not a director. I have some experience, but you know what I would do is I would call up my boy Karando Mitsutake,
Yes.
and I would say, Karando, here's a fucking $1 million. Let's make a movie, because that dude should be making a movie right now, and as far as I know, he's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Like all of his movies are fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just rewatched Karate
Yeah,
Kid
I
a
saw
couple
it. Yeah,
days
yeah.
ago, and
It's so good,
awesome.
right? Yeah.
It is. It's awesome.
It gets better and better with every watch.
So
I think it would have been like in my top 2 if I had had it, like, because I've had it on a lot in the background, and there's just so much like nuance that I like, so much fun that I didn't like pick up on. It would have like done much like.
So I that's what I would do is I would like, because I want to, if I want the movie to do well, and I want it to have someone who knows what they're doing. So I might be like the producer and have a say and to collaborate, but I would let him go behind the camera and make it.
Sure, that's a good idea.
And you know what? Maybe we could maybe add like a sort of a luchador hero or something.
Sure.
along
A
those
little film called Skin the Cat could bring
lines.
that.
Yeah, that's another one we have in the can.
I didn't even think. You know, it's so funny the way I'm hardwired. I didn't even think to actually make a film script that I actually have written already. Like, that didn't even cross my mind until you said it. Like,
Yeah.
I have 3 Jade movies and a 75% El Gato versus Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And in a little notes for a Deadites movie Psycho Patrick and I were talking about a couple of years ago. So,
Yeah.
like, there's just a lot of stuff that didn't even cross my mind. But I now probably will make that Vigilante movie. Now that Monster Zero's not going to get off his fucking lazy ass and make a movie ever. Even though I offered to do 90% of the work for him.
He'll do it eventually. All right, next, let's hear from... Oh, this is someone we haven't heard from in a while. He's got his own podcast, And hopefully he talks about it. If not, I'll mention it afterwards. But let's hear from our boy Lance Beefpile.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, just wanted to congratulate you on 6 years. That's crazy. This is Greg, or Lance Beefpile, or Blast Hard Cheese, or Chunk Thunder Dick, or whatever I was on the chat room. Having now done a podcast myself, here's my cheap plug, the Give Me 5 podcast.
There you go.
You know how hard it is to even do 1 year. So 6 years is crazy. I tried to watch the movie, and I think I found a copy on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure instead I found some sort of ISIS recruitment video.
Wow.
So I will not be able to speak on the Demonwarp or Warp Demon, but I will try to track it down and see how ridiculous it actually is. So, again, congratulations, and keep up.
Thanks,
Oh,
dude.
all right. Sounds like it might cut off a little bit there, but thanks, Greg, Lance, whatever all his names are. But he's a great dude, and if you guys remember, I think it was episode 200. He did the art for us, that like cool little art. And Greg has the Give Me 5 podcast, which is fun. I've checked out a few episodes, and I dig it a lot. So keep it up, Greg. And I know, obviously, it can be difficult to do it week in, week out. But there you have it. So everyone check out Give Me 5, and thanks, Greg. All right, we're going quick. This is like the quickest we've ever gone through feedback. This is yeah. So we have 2 more, and I hate to say, I think I got to cut one because we're running really late here. We're almost 4 hours, and I'll message him privately and let him know that maybe we'll play it next week because it's a little long. But next we're gonna hear, this will be the final voicemail is from our boy Pabst.
Nice.
That's right, Trick or Treat Radio. It's Paps. I'm calling in. First off, I want to wish you guys a very happy 6th anniversary. You fucking did it. Congratulations. It's something that I look forward to every single Friday and most Wednesdays when I can manage it. I got to say, this is probably my favorite podcast right now. Fucking love you guys. Also, Johnny, I am also going to Slayer tomorrow.
Yeah,
in New
buddy.
Hampshire. So if I see you around, I'll definitely come up and say hi.
Yeah.
My friend's band, Carnivore, is actually opening, and I'm super fucking pumped for them. Like,
oh, nice.
You fucking made it. You're opening for Slayer. That's a fucking big deal. But anyways, so on to the movie you guys were reviewing this week, Scary and the Hendersons. Demonwarp. It was exactly what I wanted you guys to review. It was a ton of fun, over the top, stupid, campy, cheesy. I don't know if I watched a shitty version or if it was some of the worst camera work that I've ever seen in a movie, but again, it may have I watched it on YouTube, so it may have just been that. I don't know where you guys watched it, but yeah, some of the camera work, it was like if I fucking filmed a movie. I gotta say, the fucking the big reveal about who a certain character was fucking ridiculous. And the transformation scene right before that was actually pretty cool. I thought this movie had some decent gore. So I loved Demonwarp, and I am definitely giving that a treat. And so I watched it on Monday, and afterwards, I finished it pretty early. The night was still young, and I decided, I wanted something kind of in that same vein. So I watched what I know you guys fucking love, and that would be Neon Maniacs.
Yeah.
And that movie was also exactly what I wanted it to be. It was a ton of fun. I thought the costumes and shit, some of the effects were really, really great. Looked fucking awesome. I gotta say though, what the fuck was up with that ending though? It did they want to make sequels?
The
I
water?
feel like it's just kind of and it's over. So but other than that, that was really my only complaint about that movie. I thought it was a ton of fun. It was great, and I fucking loved it. I am running low on time, guys. I don't really have a question for you this week, but
right, Mars?
I hope you guys have a great fucking time. I want to thank you guys for the entertainment. I want to thank Dynamo for introducing me to a ton of shit I love, like Oingo Boingo and whatnot. And peace.
I love you, little man.
Awesome, Pabst. And
Cool.
Pabst has been maybe just within the last year. I think you had been telling him to listen, Dynamo, or
I think it was
Fabio.
Freezy, yeah.
Fabio had been. But either way, we're glad you're on board, Paps. Always love hearing from you. Love your insight, man, and love hearing you talk about films and also music. You give some good music recommendations. And yes, I will be at Slayer, Megadeth, Testament. Oh no, not Megadeth. I'm sorry.
Anthrax?
Slayer, Anthrax, Testament,
So
Lamb
jealous.
of God, and Napalm Death. Is
Do you
it?
like Lamb of God?
Yeah, I do. I like him a lot.
I'm not saying that in a way like, do you like Lamb of God? I actually really like that dude.
Randy Blythe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know anything. Like, I really enjoy, like hearing him talk.
They weren't a band that I got into like when they were like first coming out. I got into them a little bit later, but I like their last album is fucking brilliant. I listen to it a ton in the gym. So.
His when he's on Jericho, those are my favorite episodes.
I actually have never heard him on Jericho's podcast.
Yeah,
I want to though.
He did a whole thing about how he was imprisoned for.
Yeah. Did you see the documentary about that?
No, I haven't yet.
So Lamb of God did a documentary, like it was going to be a tour video, basically like a behind-the-scenes tour video, and then he got arrested midway through the documentary, so it became about that, you know. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know about it, but Randy Blythe is the singer of Lamb of God, and they're playing, I want to say in like Czechoslovakia
Right, yeah.
or something like that, and a fan kept coming on stage and stage diving, you know, and he was getting kind of like pissing the band off a little bit. And one of their things is if you hang out on stage too much, you got to get off. You can't, you know. So I think the singer pushed the guy a little, like not maliciously. He was giving him kind of like, hey, dude, you know, get off the stage. And then the dude stage dove, hit his head on the fucking ground, and ended up dying.
Oh, Jesus.
And so the government held on to him and wouldn't let him go. They're supposed to be touring, playing shows.
Isn't it Czech Republic?
Czech Republic, okay, yeah. And they wouldn't let him out of prison.
He was indicted for manslaughter
Yeah,
charges.
yeah.
Jesus.
It turns out he was found not guilty, but it was a fucking, you know, it was an ordeal for him, you know, like to be wrongfully accused of killing someone, or one of your fans even, you know.
Right.
And he definitely didn't. Like, you could see the video, like they actually showed the video in the documentary, and he barely even touched him. And yeah, it just was a really rough situation. He was there for months.
Yeah.
Like locked up in a
Czechoslovakian prison.
Yeah. So it's shit, what's it called? Burn the Palace. Let me look it up. But it's really interesting because it starts off as one thing and then becomes something else.
I'd like to see that. I've been on
Kind of like this movie.
I've been on a big documentary kick as of late. So.
Oh, it's as the palaces burn.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that
It's
sucks.
just it just makes you think. You know what I mean? Like the decision, even though he didn't do it, the decision between touching that guy in the back and not was like a split-second thing, and it could have changed his life. You know, like
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
But the dude, it was the same dude that kept coming up. So he was like, "All right, dude, come on, you know, like get off the fucking stage," you know, if I remember correctly.
I am super lucky that the only person who makes me that rageful is him. Like literally on Earth, with all the like difficult people that I have to deal with, like the only person that I've ever wanted to actually murder, kill dead is him, and I haven't. So I guess I'm not gonna.
That's nice.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I find that very disturbing as someone who's worked the stage for shows and physically have thrown people. Like,
Sure.
People have gone on stage to stage dive, and I've thrown them into the crowd.
Which seems kind of counterproductive. Like if they're gonna jump anyway.
Yeah, you probably just run his
You know
course.
what? I've been hired to keep them off stage. I don't care how they get off.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that for us?
He's too busy watching the table.
Nobody comes near the nobody comes near the stage.
You don't want me on the stage. I get in your way. I block your vision. People can't see you.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true. I'm like two of you. I'm so fat.
Wow, I just kind of like lobbed that softball up there to make the fat joke about me, and he swung and missed.
Wow.
Well, it's it's a.
I'm being honest.
Like,
That's why I'm never afraid, and it happens a lot, of like I feel like anyone who knows me of like if I threw a guy off the stage and killed him, I'd say, "Up, I threw a guy off the stage and killed him." But you always know if I did something or not because I'll just say it. That's why I get so mad when people blame me for fucking making shitty smells in here and I didn't make it and I don't say I did.
Because you're the one who always does it.
But I also am the one that talks all the time about shitting his pants. Why would I all of a sudden clam up about it?
Well, the thing is, because you do it so often, everyone just assumes it's you.
I understand why, but
Well,
I would
because
also.
We also kind of just assume it just kind of happened. You didn't realize.
Yeah,
it.
maybe you didn't. Mars has a very sordid history, so who knows?
Mars pooped himself, didn't realize it.
Why is my back all wet?
So, but yeah, I understand.
This is the men's room.
I definitely understand getting accused of things that you didn't do. But.
Yeah. We actually did get one more voicemail on the. I don't know when it came in, but I checked, and we had one more. So we got one more, and let me just get it ready here. And it is from Anonymous. It doesn't say who it's from, so let's take a listen.
Uh-oh.
Hello, happy birthday to the show. I remember when Raven Shadow first told me about it. You were maybe 2 or 3 episodes in. Seems like a long time ago.
Yes.
But I had sort of a question. I would like to be on the show again, and I want to review
Rover Jerks.
Rover Jerks, and I would like you all to be there with me.
I'd like that too.
Just say the word. We'll make that happen. Okay, thanks. And congratulations.
Yeah, he didn't say who it was. We all know.
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, it's Tom C.
Yeah, I like having Tom C on the show. Every time it's been a good time.
Does he still have the mustache?
I haven't even seen him. I talked to him, but I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him. Did he? I think he did. He did have the mustache.
Okay, I hope so. I love the mustache. So
I don't think it's as fierce as it was.
no,
No.
that's a shame.
I got
no, it's not. As
That's
fierce.
a lot of work, though. I guess.
Yeah.
I got the ultimate show idea. You
What?
ready?
What? Let's
Be
hear
the
it.
best show we've ever had.
Okay. Lay it on me.
With these guys too, which is saying a lot. Okay.
Lay it on me.
All right. We review, even if it's the second segment, the Spookies, right?
Okay.
With my brother from another mother, Jar Jar Blinks, and Neck, Stevie Scars.
That sounds intense.
Yeah.
That would be a great Titanic team up.
Yeah. I don't know why I never thought of it before.
I do know that Jar Jar Blinks is a very busy man these days. So
true.
we had hopefully we can get him on again soon though, because he just has a lot going on in real life. So
yeah, he's the Blink stronghold is moving.
I think
so.
Blinkbuster Video is moving. So
I offered to pack it up, so I'll let you know.
So, but we will get Mr. Blinkhorn on again, and obviously, fucking love having Steven Scarlatta
so
on.
long,
He
yeah.
might be one of the. Actually, it hasn't been that long, but he might be one of the guests we've had on the most actually over the years, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think of that. I was trying to think of 2 things I was having a hard time with. I couldn't figure out when Aries originally started and stopped, because I know when I was doing the greatest hits, I went through I feel like he was on longer than he actually was, because I went on and there was like Aries, no Aries, and then I'm like, oh, he has to be coming back soon, because I feel like he was on for a while, and then
Aries was on at Castle Wolfenstein.
Right.
I did the first episode there.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We actually did have Blinkhorn and Scarlatta on the same episode. Episode 204, Beyond the 2000 Neon Maniacs, when we had Steven and Jackson Stewart on.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
But it was more of talking about Beyond the Gates.
I
than it
wasn't
was-
here for some reason, though, I think I was on Skype, because I was on Skype when Jackson was here. I don't know where I was.
Okay.
Where the fuck was I?
But we did The Other Side of the Door, that sort of Indian movie. It wasn't an Indian movie. It took place in India.
Yeah, that was all right.
And we talked to those guys about Beyond the
Had
Gates.
the Walking Dead girl in it.
Yes.
What the fuck was I? I hadn't started working yet, I don't think.
I don't know.
You were in Calcutta.
I've never been to Calcutta, I don't think.
So we did have, but it would be good to have them both on to talk about a movie.
Especially that one. Like, that one, I feel like
Yeah.
is...
And the most recent time we had Steven Scarlatta on, I believe, was episode 292, where we talked about Shape of Water.
Oh yeah.
So I think that was the last time we had Steven on.
Shape of Water, wasn't that the?
That was early in the year.
I don't remember him being on that one.
Yep.
I wasn't here for that either, though.
You were here. Well, you were on the show.
Yeah, I was on the show. But I don't remember him being here.
He was talking about Tied In, his new the film he's working on.
Holy shit! Did I leave or so? I have no recollection. I feel terrible.
Oh God.
Jeez, man.
I remember talking about Shape of Water.
Here, let me watch the video. I'm gonna see if you're in fucking studio.
No, I wasn't. I was definitely not here when we did Shape of Water.
Do you need to drink it inshore?
No.
All right, it doesn't look like you are here. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you were. Did you have the new job then?
I did when we did Shape of Water, but
okay, so that was
I had
probably
just started it.
So that's probably it. All right, so well, that's it. Voicemail.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it was fun to do an older movie. You know, like obviously we do a lot of like more recent VOD stuff, and
We always do one a year anyway.
we do tend to do at least one.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you like to try to do some of that a little bit more often, or just maybe keep them on the back burner in case there's nothing new out?
I mean, I like it as like a second segment, like.
Yeah, I typically like it as a second segment too, but that's a lot to ask sometimes.
I don't want to make it a twofer.
Well, it would be a rare thing if we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also if we knew it was going to be a twofer, we could say in 2
Ahead of
weeks we're
time,
going to do. Two
Besides, we could
movies.
just add it to the
Cram Jam.
Cram Jam.
No,
at the end of the
Well, the Cram Jam, the point of that is to get like the new
Review
films
movies.
in. Yeah.
I hate that to begin with. So
fair.
Well, you can skip December if you want.
Well, let's talk about. We'll take it off here.
Yeah, we'll take it off here. But if actually,
that in
we'll
the
leave it to you guys. Do you guys like it? Do you want us to do some older flicks a little bit more often? I mean, there's always new stuff coming out, so there's always stuff to pick from. But you know, we could do something a little bit more frequently. We used to do more segments. We would do like the double tap. We would do all these different things.
Yeah, I
We'd do
miss
top
those.
13s and stuff like that. But it's not really a lot of work. It's just planning and getting it ready. And as you guys know, if you listen to the show over the 6 years, we're not very good at that.
Well, see, I'd like to see every so often, every 2 months, 3 months, whatever, the listeners pick a older movie that we watch and review.
No, no more listener picks. Like they let me down this time.
Fuck off. The listeners, they're our bread and butter. Let them pick what we watch.
I don't like bread and I don't like butter.
Then you can fuck off.
Toast and
butter,
jam.
Yeah. Peanut butter and biscuits.
Ooh,
But
I
no,
want
I think that I mean, I'll be honest, all my dislike for doing 2 movies ever is like in retrospect, because it's if they're not good, I don't mind watching like I
Well,
watch
see,
movies all the time.
I'm 100% opposed to the 2 movie thing. You know, the whole December cram. You know, just because I got a lot of shit going on in the 2 movies.
We all
thing.
do, Aries. Come
I know
on.
that. Well, but you know what? It fucking kills me because I don't think about the movies until Monday, and then
You have to watch one over the weekend in December.
All right, we do have to wrap
Yeah,
this
we
up.
gotta go.
Okay, well,
MZ is like counting the fucking seconds.
He's getting fidgety.
Yeah, he's packed his fucking little plastic bag already.
Oh yeah, I have one more thing I have to say.
Yes.
I did realize what movie I was thinking of, and I can't believe no one could correct me on this. Night of the Demon.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Night of the Demons.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is funny though that we didn't think of it. You said Demon Night.
Yeah,
and no one,
I just
no one,
fucking
yeah.
had it backwards. No one could correct
Yeah,
me.
but Demon Night's a fucking movie that comes to mind.
Yeah,
though. I mean,
but
like
if
Billy
I'm
motherfucking
saying Demon
Zane.
Night and I say I have the wrong movie, no one could like reverse that.
Well, one starts
Well,
with a
you
K.
didn't reverse it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but out of the 5 of us, no one.
Yeah, but you thought of it.
Yeah. Aries, you
okay,
need
you
to be
know
more like I am. You need to sleep 2.5 hours a night, and then you'll be able to watch all the movies you want.
I'm so disappointed by Aries.
Why? Because he doesn't have your back.
Oh, I knew I was back.
Yeah, it is.
Surely not MZ's back.
It's disappointing.
To be fair, the movie played out one way, but he could have shot that fucking Sasquatch before he even killed MZ.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck off with that.
way back.
I would have been pissed because I would have paid the,
The greater
Sasquatch
good.
money to kill MZ.
The greater
But-
good.
All right, so
Goodbyes are getting long.
yeah, we gotta hit this. So next week, we're gonna do another Wolf Cop. It is available on VOD. Prime Video. You can stream it from there. It's not free. I think you have to rent it or buy it.
Slow
But
it down.
you can also get the Blu-ray. It is it's been available since July 3rd. So it's $14.87 if you want the Blu-ray. I just added it to our store, Amazon.com/shop/the-Deadites. So if you want to purchase it, go ahead and do it from there. There's also DVD, which is $2 more than the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I do love that box art, though.
There's a Blockbuster version that has both.
Yeah, I saw. I think Nicholas posted that. Yeah, so there is one that has.
I was gonna buy that before I got shit canned. So.
Did you say Blockbuster?
I mean, sorry.
Okay, I was like, what?
Best Buy.
We have a Blockbuster.
I know, right? All right, so let's go around, say our goodbyes, and I don't know, like it's 6 years. I guess there's nothing really to say. Mars will get mad if you say good stuff about the show. So.
Well, I mean, if it makes them feel better. Good stuff,
all right, MZ.
For the 6th year, arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Oh, should I come up with a catchphrase now?
Yeah, do it.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Hey, well, he is right.
And Mars turns us back to me.
There is some legitimacy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, Raven Shadow.
It's been an interesting 6 years. It's been a lot of changes, to say the.
And you even.
And me, yeah. It's been an interesting journey.
Your phone hasn't changed in 6 years.
If you could change,
that's true,
and I could change, we all could change.
The new continuity, a couple of reboots, work in
progress.
Retcons, yeah.
Wearing the underwear on the inside now.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm ready. But yeah, live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
Mars Man.
6 years means one thing to me. I have obviously fucked up my life. And really blew it.
So instead of being 6 foot deep, you're 6 years deep.
Yeah, like it sucks. I thought I would be a famous neurosurgeon by now.
Yes.
But, or at least a moderately successful musician. But nope, here I am. Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
Thank you so much to everyone who joined us for the 6-year anniversary episode. Thank you, big thank you to Bill by Force from Outside the Cinema. Look for his film Survival of the Film Freaks.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. And I can't wait for people to see it. I can't wait to go see it again at a festival, at least at the Sean O'Shea Film Festival. It'll be available there.
It's like two great things that taste great together.
Yep. What? Bill by Force and Sean and Skip Shea?
The movie, well, yeah, them too, but the movie and... In the festival.
And the festival, yeah, absolutely. And big thank you to Reverend Scott for coming on. Always love talking to that dude. And I can't wait for his flick, the original Survival of the Film Freaks. Can't wait. And all you guys who submitted feedback and questions. And we didn't ask for well wishes, but you sent some. So thank you very much. And thank you for sticking with us for, however long you've been with us, whether it's been 1 year, 5 years, 6 years, the whole time. We really appreciate you guys. And, we do this because we have fun, but, you guys make it worthwhile, and just knowing that you're out there and you even enjoy what we say even a little bit. So thank you guys. And everyone's going to listen to the podcast. Thank you guys for continuing to tune in
sure.
and for listening to our fucking ramblings.
Yeah.
And, well, that's going to do it. So thank you guys all once again, and we will see you next week. We do another Wolf Cop on episode 314. We'll see you then.